talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van Range. Commercial vehicles that go the distance for your business. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon, your talkSPORT headlines. I'm Toby Gillis. Bellingham back for England. We all expected that. Tuchel says he'll play in the 10. Foden returns too. And it turns out that's yet more direct competition there.
The main thing with Phil is that he gets a role in the central part of the pitch. I don't see him as a winger at the moment, and maybe not anymore. He should have a central role. I think that brings out his strengths the most.
Alex Scott has his first call-up, but Miles Lewis-Skelly's now dropped out of the squad with Nico O'Reilly, the recognised left-back for Serbia and Albania next week, live on talkSPORT. Thomas Tuchel says that backs up his constant message to players.
Miles simply needs more starts, more minutes. We selected him the last camps despite his position at Arsenal, but now came a time where Nico O'Reilly had so many starts in his position.
Now, is it last chance saloon in the title race for Liverpool at Man City on Sunday? Arne Slot insists it's one game at a time, but Champions League winning midfielder Didi Hamann has told us he can't see them retaining the title if they lose, but
they kept 2 clean sheets now. Their defending hasn't been good early in the season, even when they won the games. And, I'm quietly confident, I have to say.
Alexander Isak is back in training for Liverpool today, but it's not yet been decided if he'll feature at the Etihad. Enzo Maresca insists rotation will continue at Chelsea, despite a number of pundits branding his policy problematic. It's 85 changes to his starting 11s in 16 games so far this season. And is the Rob Edwards to Wolves story gathering pace? The Middlesbrough boss press conference scheduled for, right now, has been cancelled. Wolves are at Chelsea in the late game tomorrow evening, live and exclusive here on talkSPORT.
talkSPORT News.
An Algerian sex offender who was wrongly released from jail has been found after a 9-day manhunt. And a woman who claims she's Madeleine McCann has been found guilty of harassing the missing toddler's family. The news team has more in half an hour.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit, your go-to destination for quality tyres from great brands like Continental. Visit your local centre or quickfit.com and book today.
A band of rain moving northeast from the southwest, hitting the north this evening.
This is Paul Hawksbee and Hawksbee Jacobs with you through until 4 here on talkSPORT. Where this afternoon? Please tell us. What's coming up, Andy? Somebody got a bow and arrow in here. Very odd noise there. Anyway, keep going.
Coming up over the next 3 hours, Stan Collymore reacts to the England squad and previews the Premier League weekend.
We'll discover why it's a big weekend for Lionel Messi, and we'll celebrate the return of the Freddie Flintoff-led Bullseye to our screens. Mike's not screwed in properly, isn't that? Shoddy workmanship. I'll do it later. Yeah. Yes, we'll also have more of Andy's nonsense by numbers, and we'll chat to the ex-con who supplies pasties to Anfield. There's all this plus the clips of the week, the Fools panel, and basketball legends under cracker blaze in Todd Macklin's American Sports Roundup. That's right. It is 6 minutes past 1. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Andy. Good afternoon, Paul. And yes, I've just realised we've started the show. What do you mean? I've just realised we've started
normally
the show.
Normally I line something up to talk about at the start.
Sorry, this is a new low, even by your standards.
Low.
Wow, I've just realised we've started the show.
Right.
It's up there with Alan's famous one, where he looked at the running order of the show that day. He says, joining us at 7:30, Viv Anderson. Oh, great, Viv's on. I didn't know he was on. That's great. I love Viv. But here we are.
No, it's. I'll start with the dinner that for Lady Victoria Beckham threw for David.
Oh, yeah.
And
have you got the menu?
I haven't got the menu.
Oh, that's a shame.
I do.
Were you there?
No, I wasn't there.
It was just family, wasn't it?
Me and Brooklyn were doing an ad for his new hot sauce.
Oh, good. Yeah, lovely.
It's amazing, isn't it? He doesn't realise the irony of the fact that he wouldn't even have a hot sauce if his name wasn't Beckham. If his name was Backham, who'd buy Backham's hot sauce?
I quite like Backham's hot sauce. You tried it. I'd back him.
Would you?
Yeah. If he goes into Dragon's Den, I'd definitely back him.
This is some of the guests.
Wouldn't be much. I mean, like if you're David Beckham, you're going to put people off the scent. You turn up at some flash restaurant and you just want to be left alone. Can I have a table for one, please? What's the name? Backham. David Backham. I mean, no one's buying that, are they? Going
to? It's been done before.
Has anybody ever told you? Yeah, they tell me all the time. It's weird, isn't it? But it wouldn't work, would it?
But the great Don Bradman.
Yeah.
It's through this.
Australian cricket legend, yeah.
Yes, not the plumber.
His son didn't want the weight of the Bradman name, did he?
No, so
he found it difficult and he changed it to
Bradman. What's the point?
Put him right off the scent, didn't it, that? He could freely walk the streets of Sydney, couldn't he?
Anyway.
Don Bradman.
One of the guests at the dinner was Posh's stylist pal. And he's got one of those names that's like Guy Swindles. You know, one of those.
Does he? Yeah.
He's called Ken Paves.
Does
all
he?
Your crazy paving needs.
That'd be good, wouldn't it, Ken? Although I'm guessing that if he's a stylist for Victoria Beckham, he's not going to be lugging great big granite tiles about, is he? Really, to lay you a patio?
I wouldn't have thought so.
No, does seem very unlikely. Now, I don't know if you read this morning. Bad news. I know you've been looking for a long throw expert at Chelsea, and you said, can't they get Rory in to work with Liam?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you read this piece, Andy. The bad news is, as a kid, clearly it was in the genes. And I think it was for Liam's school team. And one of the coaches didn't turn up. And they asked Rory whether he'd help out. And at one point in the game, they were losing 30 seconds left. Liam took 2 long throws. And he was clearly a chip off the old block, right? So that's the good news from your point of view so far. Yeah, took 2 long throws. He said he was 7 or 8 years old, and we scored from them. The parents were going berserk. You're ruining the game, they were shouting. Liam was in tears, though, he said.
Dear.
7-year-old Liam. Even though they'd won the match. And that's probably the last time he took a throw-in.
Oh, it's a bit of a trauma if you do it.
It's triggering. So every time he sees a long throw, that's probably, why they stuck him up the halfway line last week.
I hope
he didn't play,
from an England point of view, I hope he gets a long run now, because there's something about, he's got something about him.
Yeah, something different. Well, it seems our 2 striking options are Phil Foden and Harry Kane.
I mean, he set up Garnacho brilliantly for the goal, but he did miss a good chance. I think it might have been offside, but he missed it anyway.
Yeah.
But, he's a bit rusty, so he needs to play quite a lot.
If you fancy a few school football team war stories, maybe you want to bring us those. Maybe that's brought back memories. But for Liam Delap, it was when him and his dad ruined the game and by winning it with long throws. And he said he doesn't want anything to do with him, Andy. I mean, maybe he's going to have to coax it out of him because he's obviously... it must be...
But then you wouldn't want him taking the throws.
No, you want him on the end of them.
You want them in the box, don't you?
Yeah.
On really. Gareth Southgate, though, has revealed that... I think I kind of remember this at the time, but he's reminded us that during the 2022 World Cup, the squad played traitors.
Yeah.
You know, and no spoilers in case you haven't seen it, but it was absolutely fantastic.
Right, okay. Do you know what, Andy? I'll be honest.
Yeah.
And it's become a bit of a thing now. I've not watched a minute of Traitors, whether celebrity or otherwise. And everybody tells me it's brilliant. And it's not.
That happens with. I've never watched Peaky Blinders.
I feel like I've missed out to this stage.
That's right.
And because of that, I feel like I can't go back now.
I know what you're saying. It is difficult. I'd never seen the ordinary one, and only started watching this one.
Okay,
it was very good.
I love that. I love the way you think real people are ordinary. Such a snob. Yeah, I don't.
Civilians, we call them.
I haven't watched The Scum. I've just watched the celebrities. No, I know you don't.
Civilians.
That's civilians. Is that what you?
That's what love is called. Ordinary people.
Yeah,
civilians.
Civilians. Well, I hope you don't call people civilians.
Yeah,
that's good.
Really.
Okay, fair enough.
Anyway, I was thinking that it would have been good if Graham Carr had been on the coaching staff for England. He would have been excellent.
Which is, of course, Alan's dad.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you've not seen it, I do recommend Alan's life story involving his dad and his relationship as he was growing up.
The comedy show.
Oh, it's such a brilliant show.
What was it called?
I'd have to look it up.
Okay.
But there's been 2 series. Yeah. There's a 3rd series.
Yeah.
And Graham features heavily, not Graham, an actor playing Graham, brilliant actor actually, playing Graham, and all of that, you know, his football side of it. There's quite a lot of football in it, surprisingly.
Oh, okay.
It's really
I've heard it's very good. Again, it's another one that's passed me by, but I will check it out. So Andy says no spoilers, and then focuses on one person, so make of that what you will.
Nothing at all.
Great, isn't it? Although, compared with, I've just realised the show has started. The only way is up, in the words of Yaz. So, what's coming up today? Faye Crothers is going to join us. We are going to talk a bit of England. She's had a chat with Thomas Tuchel after he announced his squad at 10 o'clock this morning for the forthcoming games. A couple of new additions. I think Alex Scott has proved to be a fine player. He's having another look at Adam Wharton, which is good. I think we all rate him as a player.
Yeah, we do.
Quite interesting stuff on Foden. If you've missed it, we'll bring you that. And Bellingham's back, of course. There's your headlines. So we'll hear a bit of Faye's chat with Thomas Tuchel, and then we'll have a chat with Faye ourselves. Big weekend in the world of American soccer. Brian Sciaretta will join us from over in the States. It could be curtains for Javi Mascherano unless he can win this big playoff game against Nashville. Into Miami, and of course, Lionel Messi, big game for him. They came up short last year. And, you know, they spend a lot of money on the team.
But they're terrible. I watched them in the Club World Cup. They're terrible. I mean, the standard is low. You might as well be honest about it. It is. Which is why he can still play at 56.
Well, there's no Suarez. Believe it or not, there was an off-the-ball incident that he's now got a ban for. It's not like he's not that kind of lad, generally, is he? So, yeah.
I mean, between him and during the Club World Cup, I mean, the sight of him and Messi up front was, it was embarrassing.
Was it like the wild geese? It's like sort of
absolutely, you know,
like
both,
charity, like soccer.
Brilliant player. I'm not saying Messi isn't still capable of genius, but you know, this is a lot easier place for him to do.
Well, they're 1-1 in this series, and it's winner takes all in this game, and so they came up short last year. So we'll talk to Brian about that and the possibility of what's going on with the national team. Maurizio Pochettino saying to our own Ben Jacobs that he loves the Premier League and misses it. So is this a short-term thing? And what's the expectations on a US soccer fans and what he can do in this tournament? I mean, what do you reckon? Quarterfinals, semi-finals? Will they expect semi-finals as a host nation?
Home advantage should help a little bit, but
it's a lot to expect, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be surprised,
especially when you've not played any competitive football for a couple of years. That never helps either, does it?
No.
Anyway, we'll be Bullseye's back this weekend with Freddie Flintoff after a big successful Christmas show. And we'll be chatting to 2 people in and around it. Richard Ashdown, who is the new Tony Green. In one. You won't go. You know, so he's the scorer.
Yeah.
And Laura Wood, not Laura Woods, but Laura Wood, who is the daughter of the co-creator of Bullseye. They're going to pop in.
Brilliant.
Andy and I worked with the director of Bullseye, who was quite the character.
He certainly was.
There may be a few Peter Harris war stories coming up. Stan Collymore is going to join us. We'll talk a bit of England, look ahead at the Premier League weekend. Falls panel, let's give you those quickly. Tottenham versus Manchester United, Chelsea Wolves, City Liverpool. And what we need from you is for you to give us a call and try and predict the scores of those games. Take us on, our commentator, and Stan, Jim Proudfoot, our commentator today. 03717 223344, 03717 223344. Call us now. We'll call you back at 2:45. We're here, of course, with our good friends at Toolstation. Check out Toolstation's unmissable Milwaukee deals. Shop in store, online or on the app. Next stop, Toolstation. We're indebted to Jack, the Chelsea fan, who says the show Traitors is based on a game called Werewolf, created by a Russian sociology student to prove his thesis that an informed minority will win a battle of information over an uninformed minority. Well, thank you, Jack, for that. And I hope that Russian sociology student is getting a massive drink out of it, because it's a global phenomenon.
Yeah, I think it's been developed by two TV companies.
Yeah, sure has been. Anyway, we move on. Let's hear from Thomas Tuchel. We'll catch up with Faye Carruthers shortly. She had a chat with Thomas Tuchel earlier on after he announced his latest squad, and she asked him about Jude Bellingham and Phil Foden's inclusion.
Well, the solution is, first of all, clarity. I think the guys need to know on which position they compete, at least in this camp. Then we always have the possibility to change on a short notice or in game if the game demands something else. But the clarity where they come in, this means for Jude, he competes on the number 10 position. I think this is very natural for him. This is where he plays for Real Madrid, and where he feels most comfortable and where he's the strongest for club and country. For Phil, he's for me a unique player. He is very hard to put him into one role or one position and say you are a 9, you are a 10, you are a 8. He plays very fluid. I think this is his key strengths, and that's maybe the clarity in this case. For this camp, we're not giving too much away, because I also don't want Serbia and Albania to be aware of our thoughts tactically wise. But I think we will try to put Phil first of all in a central position as a, you can call it 9.5 or 10.5, but I think he needs to be in the middle of the pitch. He needs to be close to other teammates. He needs to be close to the opponent's box. I think for me, the second goal he scored against Dortmund is a typical Phil Foden goal.
So who's he competing with?
Well, he competes maybe then with Harry in this camp as a different profile number 9. Maybe he competes also with Jude and Morgan Rogers. Like he's a bit of a hybrid, and he's maybe the exception of the rule.
But that's a fight he's relishing, competing with Harry Kane.
Yeah. And also, even at number 10, I'm not even talking about Cole Palmer. He's like in FIFA Pro's Team of the Year.
Yeah.
I mean, if he gets fit, which I think he will by then, that's another problem for him.
Well, a good problem to have, Andy.
Oh, it is.
As the cliche goes. Hi, Faye.
Hello, Paul. Hello, Andy. It is a good problem to have. Yeah. And, headaches in competition terms is great for any England boss.
Yeah, but
as long as you don't try and get them all in, which has been a
I don't say. I mean, that's a very good question. You don't sense he will. He will be ruthless if he has to be to get the balance right, you'd hope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And it will depend on the opposition and what players are going to be better at unlocking certain oppositions. You know, always talk about the low block and the medium block, and Thomas Tuchel himself has said he needs the creative players who can go on and unlock that, and some players are better suited at doing it against different opponents. So, you know, to have lots of different weapons in your armoury, so to speak, is only a positive thing in my eyes. But what's going to be really interesting is seeing how he fits them in this camp in particular, and how he decides to, whether or not it's somebody coming on as a substitute, whether or not it is, for example, Phil starting at the beginning of the game, whether it's Phil Foden and Jude Bellingham playing together. You know, there was the argument previously that they used to get in each other's space, because of course Jude Bellingham also likes to roam around the field a lot as well, and that was back when Harry Kane was dropping deep into the 10 position as well. So when you've got a lot of players that do that, he's right, it's more of a fluid game nowadays. You can't necessarily pinpoint an exact position on, you know, an old-fashioned 4-4-2 board, if you like, as to where these kind of players are going to go. But they need a little bit of discipline within that, and that's what Thomas Tuchel is going to try and bring. And then, of course, bringing them back into the camp when they've not been within the England camp for a while is going to be really interesting, because he's talked a lot about how the team are building something really special going into the World Cup, and that he's seen that in the last 2 camps. So, it's going to be fascinating come Thursday when they play Serbia.
I think it's disappointing that he didn't take a look at Danny Welbeck. He's playing so well. He's got experience. He could be so useful in a tournament on the bench, coming off the bench. You know, Harry Kane gets an injury. If you tell me that Foden's going to be the answer if Harry Kane gets an injury, I'll tell you we won't do very well in the World Cup. It's a surprise, I think.
Well, it's interesting, because we always used to have the debate about whether he takes 2 strikers or 3, and whether there are 2 backups to Harry Kane. Quite clearly, Thomas Tuchel thinks very differently, and you only need 1 backup striker. He very much said the reason that Ollie Watkins isn't in the squad is just to give him a little bit of time, because he has been managing an injury and doesn't look particularly comfortable, and he wants him to give him a break and give him the opportunity to fight for his spot come March. So I don't think that we would be going into the World Cup with just just one striker, and then other number 9 potentials who can also play in other positions as Harry Kane's backup. But I can see why he doesn't see the need to bring in Danny Welbeck if Danny Welbeck won't get minutes, because he wants to see how those players, Marcus Rashford, Anthony Gordon, if he is fit enough to play in either of the 2 games, Phil Foden, if he does play that kind of 9.5 role. He talked about Jude Bellingham fitting in to the 10 and then going in as a 9 as well. So you've actually got a lot of players in that position. So I can understand in a lot of ways why he's decided not to call up Danny Welbeck, and it's got nothing to do with how brilliant Danny has been this season, but perhaps his age, the fact that there are other players, ahead of him who've already been part of Thomas Tuchel's setup. I think that's probably the reason why.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but none of those players are a number 9, and none of those players would be able to do a job in a tournament. They wouldn't. It never works. It doesn't. But there you go.
When you're I wanted to talk to you about Miles Lewis-Skelly, which is an interesting one, because he did hint before Tuchel that unless players weren't playing, their place was going to be under threat, and that's been the issue for him. I mean, if he was a slightly older player, he might be going to his agent and saying, look, or going to the manager at Arsenal and saying, look, maybe I need a loan second half of the season, so I've got a chance of getting in the World Cup squad. But he is such a young player, and Arsenal won't want to affect the depth in their squad. So the chance of that happening looks remote. And so at the moment, you would say, barring injury, the chance of him going to the World Cup looks pretty remote as well. Potentially, but we're in November and there's still a long way to go. We've got 7 months until the World Cup squad is announced in May. A lot of injuries, a lot of time, a lot of time for him to win his spot back at Arsenal. And if he starts to get a run of minutes for Arsenal, then we could see him recalled in the March camp. You just don't know. There's too much time and space, if you like, and too many other opportunities for injury, space, form and various other things. Thomas Tuchel knows what Miles Lewis-Skelly brings to the party. I just think it's really sad that it's only a couple of months ago that we were talking about the fact that the left-back position was his to give away, and that he would effectively be England's number 1 left-back for many, many years to come. That's how quickly international football changes. That's how quickly club football changes. But there's still plenty of time for him to win his spot back if other situations go his way. Absolutely. Faye, we'll catch up with you soon. Thanks very much. All right. Take care. See you later. Faye Crothers outside Wembley there, and both England's World Cup qualifiers against Serbia and Albania will be live on talkSPORT. Still to come this afternoon, Stan Collymore will give us his take on the squad. We'll look ahead at the Premier League weekend. We're going to talk about the return of Bullseye. We'll have the clips of the week, of course. And we're going to be joined in the studio a little bit later on by Gail Emms, Olympic medalist, and an interesting life post that. And she's written her autobiography. But catching up with Gail, talking about not knowing who Lionel Messi was and getting chicken nuggets bought for her by Andy Murray and other associated stories. And her mum's great Lioness's credentials as well. So that's all to come with Gail Emms. But before that, talking of Messi, big weekend for him and David Beckham, and Brian Sciaretta will join us from the States to chat about that and more.
of the same, please. That's Thomas Tuchel's message to the England players after picking his latest squad. Having already qualified for the World Cup, he's now recalled Bellingham and Foden, who both missed the last couple of camps. Meanwhile, Alex Scott has been called up for the very first time, and Tuchel has praised the young Bournemouth midfielder.
He performed his way into this nomination, and he will come as a number 8. Hopefully he can prove us right and show us his talent and personality.
You can see the full squad at talkSPORT.com. Elsewhere, Liverpool go to Man City this weekend in what's already being seen as a crunch tie in the title race. But Arne Slot just wants to stay in the moment.
Our focus is on getting consistent and improving, getting players fit. Then we will see where that will lead to. But at this moment of time, it's definitely not the only focus we have is the league table.
Well, Slot might not be worrying about the spring just yet, but former Liverpool and City midfielder Didi Hamann reckons Sunday could have significant implications.
They're 7 points behind now. If you were to lose, it could be 10. I wouldn't say it's the end of their charge to defend the title, but it'll be a big ask.
And Rob Edwards' Middlesbrough press conference has been cancelled today. He's one of the favourites for the Wolves job.
Get in the ring to win on talkSPORT.
Yes, we've got a new prize up for grabs, and it's a knockout.
Great.
Says here, we're giving you the chance to win 2 tickets to the highly anticipated rematch between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday, the 15th of November. The prize includes a one-night stay at a 5-star hotel in London, plus £5,000 spending money to make it an unforgettable weekend.
What about a 5-night stay at a 1-star hotel?
I can't see them going for that. I mean, there is no choice. I can't do any more.
No,
anyway, listen up. Here's how to enter.
18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word BOX to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus 1 standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission, or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 3338. All entries must be received by the 13th of November at 1 p.m. and you need to answer our call to win. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
We're going to be talking Bullseye later on after a successful pilot at Christmas with Freddie Flintoff at the helm. It's back for a series this weekend, and we'll be joined by 2 people that have the show very close to its heart. Laura Wood, who's the daughter of one of the creators of the series, and Richard Ashdown, who's the new Tony Green, the man who he's the darts referee, and he'll be carrying out that role. So anyway, that's all coming up. Before that, a big weekend in the world of US soccer. Certainly for Lionel Messi, potentially for Javier Mascherano, who could potentially be unemployed by Monday morning. It's a playoff game between Nashville and Inter Miami. And they came up short last year, I think, at this stage. And they go into the third game of 3, having won the first one, obviously lost the second, needing a result, needing to go further in the competition. Joining us now, US soccer expert Brian Chiretta. Hi, Brian.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Thanks for having me on.
It's a pleasure. Yeah, do you think this, I mean, Mascherano, is this a win or bust for him, you think?
Yeah, I do. Right now, Inter Miami's kind of been the figurehead of this league in terms of their visibility. But you have to think about it, like it hasn't really worked out. Their losses are standing out more than their wins. They've lost in the playoffs in the first round the first 2 times. Then they've been bounced in the Champions League and CONCACAF Champions League by Monterrey, and now this year Vancouver. So the losses are worse than the wins. And if they lose again today at in Miami or in South Florida, I should say, it looks more like almost like a bust of an approach, to have these old guys come over and try to win titles and think that they could just show up and win in this league.
And Suarez has managed to do something off the ball, as he often does, and will miss the game, which is just daft because it's so key. And Mascherano must be pretty upset with him.
Yeah, I mean, it's his second suspension of this year after he spit on a guy. It's like it just looks like the league should have known better, or not the league, but the team should have known better by bringing him into the league. He's doing what he's always done, and nothing really ever changes. So they staked a lot on bringing him in, thinking he was going to change, thinking like the biting and all the other stuff, the antics have been done with, but that hasn't been the case.
Is it fair on Mascherano this, though? Because I watched them in the Club World Cup and I thought they were really ordinary, not up to the standard of the other teams. And Messi's still a great player, but, he's limited, isn't he, from what he can actually do?
Yeah, I mean, it's at this father time wins all battles. But Mascherano was brought in because, look, he has had very little success as a manager before. He didn't really do well with Argentine youth teams before he came in, but he was kind of brought in because as a way to communicate, and they've really emphasized that. Before that, it was Tata Martino. So they've tried to make things really comfortable with Messi in terms of surrounding himself with people that he knows, he's worked with, managers and players, and really, what are they getting for it? I mean, they get a lot of viewers, they got a lot of eyeballs, but they're not getting the wins that they really thought that they would get.
And they could be undone by Sam Surridge, couldn't they, that people remember here from maybe Forest or Stoke or Bournemouth back in the days, who's been really good for Nashville.
Yeah, I mean, he was the leading scorer of this year in the league. Nashville's a team that, they're not the best. I don't think they're going to win the title, but like they can win any given game. They got good defense, and Sam Surridge has been very much a surprise. So, I think and Miami's not great defensively. That's their weakness. So they try to outscore teams, and games typically are like 3-2, 4-3. You get those kind of games, but sometimes games get away from them if they're defensively contained. So it's going to be a dangerous situation. I think they're going to probably win, but it wouldn't be a huge upset if they don't.
I want to move on to the national team, Brian. Maurizio Pochettino, the national team boss, spoke to our very own Ben Jacobs for a special edition of the talkSPORT Daily podcast, and he asked him about a potential return to the Premier League one day.
Do you feel you've got unfinished business in the Premier League, and could we see you back there managing one day?
Maybe it's possible, yes. What is my challenge in the future, of course, after the World Cup and being now focusing in the national team, USA national team, is maybe to come back one day to the Premier League. We were so close with Tottenham to win the Premier League and the Champions League, and I think the fans. I think not the fans, but I think in that case we wanted to win the Premier League and the Champions League because in that case Tottenham is a club that deserves this type of titles, this type of trophies. And yes, why not one day to come back to the Premier League? For me, the Premier League is the best league in the world, the most competitive, and yes.
We'll see. What's the expectations of the American sort of soccer public then? What will he be expected to do to maybe stick around beyond the World Cup? Or is there an expectation that won't be the case anyway? I mean, unless he wins it, which with respect seems pretty unlikely.
Yeah, I mean, I always kind of figured he was going to go back to Europe after this. I thought this was kind of like a brief run for him. I mean, I think the club game is probably more satisfying to any manager like that. You get the players week in, week out. national team, like after this window, he won't get them again for 4 months. And that's kind of, for a very competitive player, such as a manager such as Pochettino, that's not something that I think really, year in, year out is something he wants to be part of. But being part of the host country at a World Cup, I see him very motivated for it. But I think really it's to win knockouts, right? I mean, the U.S. has been getting out of group stages at the World Cup most of the time, really for the last 25 years. It's about winning when they get to the knockouts. They're different type of games, and that's been a stumbling block. And I think for him to differentiate himself from previous managers and a lot of the managers who came before him, it's to be able to win knockouts, particularly against European teams or South American teams. That would be a step up, and they're spending a lot of money for a guy like Pochettino, and I think they want to see a step up.
Brian, good to talk to you. Appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much, guys.
Brian Sheretta there, US soccer expert, and I'm sure Danny Kelly and Andy Braston in Trans-Europe Express. They'll be joined by Tim Vickery, and they're about to be touching on that with all the South American influence of that game between Inter Miami and Nashville. And I'm sure, you can catch the guys on Sunday evening and get updated with that game. So we're going to be joined by Gail Emms, MBE in the studio, Olympic silver medalist, Commonwealth gold medalist. It's been quite the life since she was involved in the world of badminton. She's doing all sorts of stuff. She's got a very interesting backstory, and we'll chat to her about her autobiography in a few moments' time. Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. Olympic silver medalist Gail Emms, MBE, has written her autobiography, Grit and Goose Feathers, and she's joined us in the studio. Hi, Gail.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Pleasure. Yeah. You've written a couple of books. Your second book or your third
Here's my
book?
second book, yeah. The first one was on my mother, which I never thought I'd write a book on my mum, but my mum's a little bit of a hero because she was a footballer. She was one of the first lionesses, so played in the 1971, which was classed as the unofficial first Women's World Cup, but my mum was part of that team. So only 6 English people have scored in the Azteca Stadium. Gary Lineker's top with 3 goals. My mum's next with 2. There we go. What a stat, isn't it? It's a brilliant thing. Yeah, try growing up with that though.
So why badminton and not football for you?
Yeah, because my mum, she went through so much abuse. You know, there were no pathways when I was growing up. There was very little girls' football. So my mum could see that I was sporty, but again, she just said, well, what's the point of kicking a ball with you? So she just tried every other sport with me. It just happened that badminton was the sport for me.
Wow. And of course you're incredibly successful at it.
I did all right.
Commonwealth Games and Olympics.
Yeah.
And that was a mad time. I went off to one of these audience withs that they had at ITV, and you were there with Nathan, with partner you at the Olympics. And you were kind of everywhere, you guys. You were doing lots of showbiz stuff. And they got you up, big round of applause. It was a lot of media attention.
Well, back then, we didn't win many medals. And it seems really weird now because I can remember most medalists from, like 88, 92, 96, and in 2000. But now we're so good. Team GB are brilliant. And we win so many medals in so many sports. I feel a bit bad because I don't think I could name many. Paris, and Paris was last year. Yes, last year. I don't know. So we were at a perfect time.
Free lottery money.
Exactly. Yeah. It was that just coming into lottery funding, and I think it was right time. Athens as well. The time zones as well, and there wasn't anything else going on when Nathan and I reached that Olympic final. So we had 6 million people tune in to watch a badminton match, which is crazy when you think about it now.
Wow. And you went for gold at the next Olympics, and it wasn't to be. And there's a story in the man who helped you out, put an arm around your shoulder and some McDonald's chicken nuggets in front of you. Andy Murray.
Andy Murray was my flatmate in Beijing, and obviously hadn't met Andy, and obviously he's got a bit of a reputation in the media, So I was a little bit unsure what he was like, and he turned up and he was like, so what's this all about then? And I just went, what? Because tennis, you could argue, should it be in the Olympics?
Yeah.
Well, him and Jamie certainly rocked up, and they were in their own kit, like really casual. So I had a right go at them, and I said, this has been my dream since a little girl. You treat this with respect and fair play. They sort of got their heads. I had to show them around the food hall because they were like, you have to get your own food. And I was like, oh my gosh, there you go. That's tennis players. Yeah. But they did come and they'd been knocked out, and then they came and supported the quarterfinals. Judy Murray, their mum, huge badminton fan. And obviously we lost to the Koreans, and I was crying my eyes out. And I got onto the bus, and there was only one seat left, and it was next to Andy. And he looked at me, because obviously snot tears everywhere. He was like, no. I went, you are sitting there and you're going to talk to me about anything other than badminton. So for 45 minutes, bless him, he did. He chatted about everything, his dog, his house. And then when we got back, we went to the food hall, and he went and got me some chicken nuggets.
Nice touch.
Exactly.
It's like a McDonald's ad, that, isn't it?
It is a little bit. Thanks to the sponsors of the Olympics. Exactly.
Yeah. The book, as you'd expect from you, it's pretty honest, isn't it? You lay everything bare, and you talk about even being... I was fascinated with that you were jealous of Nathan Robertson's new partner, which is a very honest thing to admit.
It is, and it was, Nathan and I, you go through so much as a partnership, we were never romantically involved or anything like that. And so when I retired, I expected him to beg me, don't go, don't leave me, and all this. And it was nothing, right? And then you get replaced by a 21-year-old tall brunette called Jenny. Yeah. And it kicked me. It was like breaking my heart.
Yeah.
And it was watching, like an ex with their new partner, and all that emotion, it's like, no, it's Nathan and Gail. And then it was Nathan and Jenny. And you're like replaced. And that's what it was like. It was like a huge kick to the ego. It was really, really, it was, and that's, you're not wanted anymore. You've been replaced. You're easy to replace.
Yeah. And also,
hurts.
you talk about the struggles of kind of finding a place. You're famous for something that you can't kind of do anymore.
Yeah.
And maybe in some areas their work dries up that's associated with that, and you're kind of looking for a place in the world, and you're very upfront about your mental health struggles around that as well.
I wish someone had told me you'll never feel the same the way you feel on a badminton court playing for your country. And it sounds such a simple thing to say, but you're in a bubble as a sports person. You've even interviewed loads of sports people, current and ex, and it is something, you have to put yourself. It's unique, and then you try and replace that when you come out of it, and you just think, I can do this, and the normal world is not sports world, and that's what was the biggest shock to me. And I should have held my hands up. I should have asked for help. I should have done things a lot sooner than I did, but you learn.
Dance music is a bit of a therapy for you say. How did that all come out? Have you always been a fan?
I've always been a raver. I mean, always been a cheesy craver, I've loved house music for all the time, the whole Pete Tong, Judge Jules, all that, the 90s, Ibiza. And then I think it was my kids were a little bit older, and I had tickets for Fatboy Slim. I think it was probably about 2017, 2018. And I fell in love again. And it was, and do you know what? It was the therapy and, that replacement. And I sort of looked into it, and now I've been going, I'm going tomorrow night. I'm going to the Cross, at King's Cross in Stepfontein. And it has been just this beautiful part of me that, just dancing, feeling free, being around people that are just, in the same wavelength. And it has been, my therapy.
You put a lot down to, you met a life coach, didn't you, called Steph, and I think she helped you a lot, didn't she?
She did, and I'm so glad, because I think there's been some books out recently where someone's not been in a right place to write certain things.
Yeah.
And and I think that could have, Don't know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So this book could have been very different if I'd have been in a different place. And that's for sure. And again, I'm sure you've read sports autobiographies, and you've gone a bit, and I'm looking at it through adult eyes. I'm looking at it through mature-ish eyes. I'm not never going to be properly mature. But I think that was important, because if I'd have written it a few years ago, it could have been a little bit childish, and I didn't want to write a book like that. So yes, Steph has been brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, you've done lots of sort of celebrity TV, haven't you? What have been your favourites? What have been the highs and lows?
What's been the highs? I won a TV programme called Eternal Glory. All right, it was only a one series. Obviously, it wasn't that good. But look, I won it. That's probably why they didn't do it anymore. They were like, oh gosh, badminton girls won it. Wow, it was up. We had Shane Williams, Matt Letitia. We had James Cracknell, myself, Liz McColgan, long jumper Jade Johnson, and Christian Malcolm. And we all had these exercises all against each other. So who would be the ultimate all-round person? And it was myself and James Cracknell in the final. So I'm 5'3". He's 6'6", giant rowing machine. And the last challenge was a reaction challenge. And of course, badminton reactions. And I won it. And I was like, James,
you beat him. That's good going.
I know. James still doesn't speak to me. So I waved the trophy around a little bit too much.
Yeah, fair enough. Do you ever play badminton anymore? Have you ever picked up a racket?
I only play with my boys, because it's always fun to beat them.
So you didn't want to coach?
I am that parent.
Yeah.
But I play pickleball now. I've gone even geekier.
Right.
So I laugh. I've gone from smashing cocks to whacking balls.
And you haven't not paddle? You've not gone down that route?
I love paddle too. Right. I am obsessed with paddle tennis, but I played the pickleball national championships last weekend and lost. So I haven't quite made world #1 yet in pickleball. But watch this space. You never know.
You must be quite good though.
Yeah,
I'm all right. I can hit it quite hard.
So you didn't want to coach? You didn't want to coach at any sort of level?
I think coaching, you have to be that kind of person. I said you're either a teacher or a communicator. And I definitely love the communication side. I love talking about the psychology of sport, the mindset of sport. That for me is brilliant. I could do that. Coaching, I just go, just hit it over the net.
Right.
I
probably wouldn't wash that, would it, really?
Apparently not. Apparently the coaching badges.
It's a real back-to-basics coaching style.
Back to basics with Gail.
So life is good, Gail, at the moment?
Life is really good.
That's good.
Yeah, good, and I'm really happy, and I think that's a great place. I'm living my best life, and hopefully you'll see that in the book as well. You get a sense of joy.
That's good.
There are always going to be obstacles, but it's what you do with them, isn't it, I guess.
Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in. Gail Emms' book, Grit and Goose Feathers, is out now in hardback, published by Pitch Publishing. It's Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. Stan Collymore joining us in the next hour. Get his thoughts on England, look ahead to the Premier League weekend, and we'll salute the return of Bullseye as well. That's all to come. Going to find out a little bit more about a big celebrity football match that's coming up shortly at Loftus Road, home QPR. That's after Toby Gillies with the sports headlines.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van Range, helping business owners to work better and live better. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon. Thomas Tuchel is sticking vigilantly to his picked-on-form policy for England. There's no Morgan Gibbs-White, no James Trafford, no Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and no Miles Lewis-Skelly in this squad. Tuchel name-checked all four as good teammates from the last group, but they've not done enough since.
I said last time, there's also a component to it that it is about competition, it's about performance, and the door is always open for guys who perform on a regular level.
Alex Scott has his first call-up, while Phil Foden and Jude Bellingham return, with Morgan Rogers also there. And Tuchel says all are competing for the 10 position. talkSPORT's England correspondent Faye Carruthers says the manager might try to get more than one of them on the pitch at the same time.
It's more of a fluid game nowadays. You can't necessarily pinpoint an exact position on, an old-fashioned 4-4-2 board, if you like, as to where these kind of players are going to go. But they need a little little bit of discipline within that.
You can hear England-Serbia live on talkSPORT next Thursday. Cristiano Ronaldo might have gone public this week with his Man United concerns, but October was so good there that they've scooped both the Premier League Manager and Player of the Month awards. Ruben Amorim's 3 wins on the bounce and Brian Bumo's 3 goals and an assist earned them the gongs. As Middlesbrough cancelled today's press conference for their boss Rob Edwards, who continues to be linked with Wolves, the man in caretaker charge at Molineux admits he's not likely to be in position for long. Is this a hint that a permanent appointment is close? From James Collins.
The likelihood is it'll be 1 week only, but you never know in football. Last time we were told it could be a week, it could be 2, it ended up being about 6, so my focus is on the team.
You can hear how Collins' efforts go when Wolves go to Chelsea tomorrow night, live on talkSPORT.
talkSPORT News.
An Algerian sex offender released from jail by mistake is back in custody, and a woman who claims she is Madeleine McCann has been found guilty of harassing the missing toddler's family. The news team has more in half an hour.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. This winter, treat yourself to the Bridgestone Turanza All-Season 6 tyres with a 20,000 tyre mileage guarantee. Book today at quickfit.com. Conditions apply.
A band of rain moving northeast from the southwest, hitting the north this evening.
Good afternoon, Paul Hawksbee, Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. Stan Collymore joining us a little bit later on to look ahead at the Premier League weekend. We'll get his take on the England squad and what's Thomas Tuchel said to our own Faker others that Phil Foden is very much in competition with Harry Kane, and if Stan sees it that way. Anyway, before all of that, though, just in the build-up to Christmas, big charity football match at Loftus Road, home of QPR. And one of the organisers of the game has joined us, along one of the people that will be playing in it. Lester Holcomb has been in before to see us for a game for Ukraine. Paul Bullion is an actor I know from Witcher and Peaky Blinders and other fine work. He's also a QPR fan. He's proudly wearing his scarf.
On brand.
You are. Good afternoon, guys. Good to see you.
And you guys. Good to see you.
So, Lester, tell us a bit about this game. So you have form for putting on these sorts of matches before.
We do. We did a game for Ukraine, as we discussed earlier. We came and talked about that a couple of years ago at Chelsea, and before that we were at QPR for Game for Grenfell in the wake of the fire. And yeah, this is our third iteration of the Game 4s, and we've been talking to Shelter for quite a long time now about doing a match for child homelessness, and we thought a Christmas match for child homelessness at QPR is the perfect pre-Christmas football match.
Yeah, and Paul, obviously you wanted to get involved because you get a chance to play at Loftus Road. Have you played there before?
I did. I was involved in the Game for Grenfell, which was brilliant. Brilliant, lifelong fan. My first time at the stadium was 1995. We beat Man City 1-0. Mm-hmm. Never reached those heights again, but I continue to support
What sort of era? I'm trying to think player-wise, what sort of era that was for QPR.
So Barker was the goal scorer that day, I remember.
Yeah.
And they
Simon Barker,
classic. And yeah, but my kind of era that I really kind of followed with the Trevor Sinclairs, and then
Andy Sinton.
We had one of the original kind of players when they founded the Premier League in the early 90s, wasn't it? And then and then as I got older, my kind of teenage years, it was like the Mark Birchams and players like that.
He's an old mate of ours.
Yeah.
And very committed QPR fan. Even dyed his hair.
He did indeed, didn't he? He's playing in this game.
Oh, Birch is playing.
Yeah, he's playing.
When you're playing in a game like this and you know you're going to be playing against the pros and things like that, do you put in lots of practice? I know you want to be fit, but do you also put in lots of practice?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very active anyway, but I've just started playing regularly about 3-4 months ago. There's a group called Kickabout in South London, and I play Wednesdays and Saturdays 5 to 7 aside. Actually got a tournament tonight, my first tournament in years, so we'll see how I get
injured.
Can't get injured.
An old late great friend of ours, David English, was in a bridge too far, and he organised a game of cricket that ruined this massive shot that cost millions of quid.
Well, he said he did.
So he did. He did have a few shaggy dog stories. but I just wonder, if you're making Witcher and you're all in the costume and you've got a bit of time, it'd be an idea to watch this kickabout in those sorts of clothes and that sort of hair.
Yeah.
Don't get a chance to have a kickabout around set, do you?
No, well, actually, you do have a bit of time in the trailer, and me and my friend Zate Sator, he's a big Liverpool fan. We'd have a little kickabout in the car park,
that's good.
which is interesting when you're wearing like boots, proper knee-high boots, and carrying a sword on your side. But I just love it's the nation's game, isn't it? And that's why I think it's so fitting for events like this to bring people together to raise such great money for great causes.
You've got some great names. Yeah, to run us through some of the names, Lester.
You call me off there, haven't you? You've got
Ronald de Boer, Claude Makelele, Carlo Cudicini, Louis Zaha, Jaap Stam. Who else we got here? Charlie Austin, he knows that ground well. Russell Howard, who's a good player.
Yeah.
A decent player.
Very, very good player.
Lovely bloke as well.
Yeah, he was on my team last time, and he just couldn't get around how much sunblock I needed playing in September. He kept bringing that up.
Wes Morgan, of course. Wes Morgan's playing, Spoonie's playing. David James.
Yep.
He'll probably want to play out on field. I think he quite likes playing out on field when he gets the chance. Yeah. Pete Doherty. And again, all these QBR fans, they're not going to turn down the opportunity to play at Loftus Road, are they?
Yeah, it's a nice mixed bag. These games always throw up a few interesting names. Tiffin finds Tiffin. Is it? What's his? Give me the. What's his?
Finds Tiffin. I believe he's the nephew, isn't he?
But he's a really good footballer. He's trained with West Ham.
Really good hero. His first name Hero.
His name's Hero.
His name's Hero.
Hero finds Tiffin.
Hero finds Tiffin. It sounds like a headline in a tabloid, doesn't it?
Yeah, what an absolute brilliant name.
He's a bit annoying, really, isn't he? He's good looking, good at football.
Great actor.
Hate him all.
I don't like him. He's on the bench.
So, 15th of December. Put him in his place.
Exactly. I will.
15th of December, 7:15 kick. What day of the week's that?
That's a Monday night.
It's a Monday night.
Yeah.
Okay.
10 days before Christmas, great.
Yeah, brilliant. At Loftus Road. You got a bit of music as well. You got some, wow. Ellie Goulding's playing for half time.
She's performing at half time. I think I'm allowed to say this, but she's going to perform Your Song, which was the Elton John classic. It's very connected, obviously, to homelessness or the home, and all that kind of stuff. And we've got the London International Gospel Choir.
Fantastic.
Performing some songs as well, and backing her.
So where can people get their tickets?
From QPR.
Okay.
Box office.
From the QPR box office.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So go and check it out. Is there a website or somewhere they can go so they can get all the information and click through?
Here, www.qpr.co.uk/tickets.
That's a nice, easy one to remember. Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah, you're right. The timing of it is really good. I'm sure people want to enjoy a bit of a game of football in the build-up to Christmas.
Yeah,
absolutely. It should be fun.
And it's just so great with, the figure. I read through the figures once I agreed to do the game. I read the figures of, the children in this country that are considered homeless and living in temporary housing, 172,420, 8% up on last year.
Wow.
That's in England alone. It's the highest since figures began 21 years ago. And I just think it's brilliant and very fitting for a sport like football, our nation's sport, to try and ease that a little bit, because they're saying that it could rise to 206,000 by 2029.
Wow.
Which, you could fill Loftus Road like 11 times over with those kind of figures, which is kind of eye-watering and scary. So, get your tickets and let's raise as much money as we can.
Absolutely.
I think it's such a great cause, and we can really use football for the good here.
You've appeared, Paul, in two of the sort of most iconic shows of the last sort of decade or so, in Peaky Blinders and Game of Thrones as well.
Game of Thrones wasn't me. Witcher was. I often get
thought you did Game of Thrones.
No, I get confused with Krista Hivju, who is a great Norwegian actor.
Right.
But he's also ginger and has facial hair.
Right.
But he's very
got muscles and a sword as well.
But we were both in The Witcher, which is why sometimes when people do a search, both of our photos come up, because we are in The Witcher together.
Right. Okay.
There's the photo of I think that was season 2. Look at the hair there. That was the hangover from COVID. That hair. They just got me to keep it.
I suppose you never quite know if a show's going to sort of take off or not. And The Witcher's obviously done very well. So I mean, you hope for the best, but Do you kind of get a bit of a vibe from it? But you think, yeah, this looks like this has got legs.
Yeah, I think you can tell when you get on set and you meet people and you're filming, you can tell that you're onto something. But also with something like The Witcher, you know there's already fans there from the games and the books, and so you're trying to honour that and do some good storytelling. With Peaky Blinders, I joined it in season 2. Before I was shot in the face by Tom Hardy, but you just knew that at the time it was like this kind of under the radar show on BBC Two, and then it blew up and it went on to Netflix and people got to know it worldwide. And I just think that kind of show, like again linking it back to football, it captured the imaginations of working class people in a period drama which never really happened before, because you'd have like Downton Abbey and shows like that. But the working class people were inspired by the stories of these people in Birmingham that were rising to success and making something of themselves, and the anti-heroes. And again, with football, it catches the imagination of everyday people in our country, and I think that's really, really important that we use that power for good. And I think it's so great that people that have agreed to do it and using their platforms for selling tickets to such a good cause.
What's your position and where do you play them for on the field, ideally, given the choice?
As a kid, I always used to get stuck up front, which because I was a bit of a poacher, because I was so much bigger than everyone. So I'd always like tap it in a corner or head it. And I've got a couple of friends coming down from Milton Keynes to watch, who I used to play with at Newport Town Football Club. Shout out to Nick Brinklow and Stuart Redford. They're coming down and they're going to be making a donation. Yeah, they'll be watching. And nowadays, I like to play a bit of centre back, but I always go up for the headers and the corners. But I have asked for the number 10 shirt, but I know that there's going to be a fight for it.
There's another player to announce later next week who has got all sorts of first dibs on number 10.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure the fact that I'm a lifelong QPR fan is going to hold out in that argument.
You're not getting Rodney back, are you?
Yeah.
Rod, 83. Yeah. He'd do a job.
That'd be a headline, wouldn't it?
And what colours are the teams going to wear? You're going to have the team in QPR hoops?
We're going to revel that next week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I can't let you know any more at the moment.
No worries.
Do you get down to QPR? I do. I get down whenever I can. Obviously, with my work, I'm not always guaranteed to be free on Saturdays, or I'm even in the country. But when I'm free, I go, and I just love it. And QPR under the floodlights, nothing like it. Compact ground, you can hear the players, you can feel the atmosphere. It's the perfect time of year to watch a game like this. The thought of running out onto that pitch again is brilliant, and to do it with such great people.
Brilliant. Good luck with it, guys.
Thank you very much.
A great turnout. It's certainly a lot of great players. Hopefully we'll be chatting to one of the other players involved a little bit later on this week or next week. qpr.co.uk/tickets, and it's 15th of December, 7:15 kickoff at Loftus Road. It is Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. They're good friends at Toolstation. Check out Toolstation's unmissable Milwaukee deals, shopping store online or on the app. Next up, Toolstation, and next up we are discussing the return of Bullseye with Freddie Flintoff this weekend. Bullseye is back this Sunday, 8 o'clock on ITV1. And we're joined in the studio now by the daughter of the creator of Bullseye, Andrew Wood, that's Laura Wood, and Richard Ashdown, who is the new Tony Green. He is a darts referee himself, and he has stepped into those big, probably quite small shoes of Tony. But good to see you both. Thanks very much.
Thank you for having us.
Wow. So yeah, as we said, in its own way, big shoes to fill, Richard, isn't it? You did the pilot with Freddie, and I think you've been involved in the show a couple of times already, haven't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, I was first asked to do it when it was Alan Carr's Epic Game Show with the Bullseye episodes, and as you say, big shoes to fill. And to be honest, I feel like I've won Bully Star Prize myself by being asked to be in that position. It's still pretty surreal.
I wonder what that speedboat was downstairs.
Yeah, it really is. And as I knew Tony Green personally, I worked with him a lot at the Lakeside when we did the BBC coverage there. So, yeah, it's special to me. I know the family, and I'm really honoured to be part of Bullseye.
Yeah. It's just the perfect time to do it. The Luke Littler effect, darts couldn't be bigger than it is at the moment. It's fantastic. And when it came back last Christmas, it just worked really well. I mean, it seemed the time was right for him.
As you say, it was riding the crest of the wave.
Yeah.
I think darts was on the upward climb anyway, before Luke Littler came along. But he has transcended it away from the sport of darts into everybody's front room. We really do have now our first household name, I think, in some 30 years.
Yeah.
It really is important for the sport of darts. And, of course, for the entertainment business with Bullseye.
Yeah. So you've been around it, Laura, your whole life, I guess. Bullseye's always been part of your life, hasn't it?
Indeed it has. I was actually born a week to the day after the first show aired.
Wow.
So it's very much, I have not known life without Bullseye. And I've grown up with it, and I'm just immensely proud to be sitting here today.
Yeah.
So 44 years on from when Dad first had the first series, and I'm here able to represent him.
Did he have any issues kind of getting it made in the first place? Because it was on one channel, then it went off to another channel, didn't it? Is that right?
Yeah. So no, I think the first series, obviously everybody. There was very mixed press on the first series, so no one was quite sure how it was going to progress. But then, honestly, into series 3, 4, 5, we really started picking up those viewers. That's where it sort of became a bit more of almost a cult following.
Yeah.
And then at the peak, they were getting 19.8 million viewers on a Boxing Day episode. So it really... From a show that started off when no one quite knew where it was going to be, it's just turned into something so much bigger than we ever thought.
Yeah.
It's very interesting because Jim Bowen was a genius. He was brilliant, and he came and talked to us about it. I was telling you, I went to see a whole Edinburgh show where Jim just basically talked about his life.
Incredible.
Times on Bullseye. It was really, really funny. But it's interesting because life's changed. Freddie Flintoff seems a great choice now because he's more empathetic than Jim used to quite slaughter the contestants.
I think it's better to say they were different times, guys. Were they? And you watch the old challenge ones and some of the old clips, and Jim could say stuff that Freddie can't say now. I think
he wouldn't want to say.
No, he probably wouldn't. No. But it's I mean, you must have loved working with Freddie. You must be pinching yourself as well.
Yeah, I'd never met him before we did the show, and from the moment we met in the first rehearsal, it's like we knew each other anyway. It was great previously working with Alan Carr, and ironically, Alan has called me a traitor for moving on to Freddie Flintoff. But yeah, Freddie is great, and he also, like myself, not only is he thrilled to be involved with the Bullseye TV series, he's a big darts fan in his own right. He loves it. He's even done commentary on a 9-dart finish on Sky Sports. He absolutely loves the sport of darts. So he was thrilled to meet the professionals and in some cases play some darts with them on the set. He's loved it.
Yeah. I mean, it pioneers as well. I mean, the women's darts, there's all this talk at the moment, isn't there, about the increase in women's darts, and Fallon Sherritt's going to be on the show. But Maureen Flowers used to be on the show with Jim back in the day, didn't they? The women pros would pop up on the show.
Yes, honestly, the women pros, everyone wanted to be on Bullseye, and it was just a great platform for everyone. So, and especially the female players, and even more so today. We know that everyone's really keen to be on Bullseye. It's great to have Fallon, and just really excited for hopefully having some other females on in the next series.
You've got Luke Humphries as well, haven't you? And Stephen Bunting.
Michael Van Gerwen. Yeah,
Yes.
all the top players. That was always the case, wasn't it? It was always, Jockey Wilson and Eric and all these people always wanted to be part of this show. It was huge.
What we were delighted with is the first list was, in the men's game, the top 4 in the world, and they all said yes.
Yeah.
They didn't have to go any lower. So that was great with Humphries, Littler, Van Gerwen and Bunting. And, of course, having the Queen of the Palace, Fallon Sherricker, that was great. And I love that you're already talking about Series 2, Laura.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's not an exclusive. It's just,
Are there any speedboats involved in the prizes?
Yeah, have the prizes changed much?
Well,
I
think,
love the token corny prizes. I'm sure in one of them, if there isn't a tease made somewhere.
Yeah. But I think there's a lot of the stuff's not made
Trouser
anymore.
press.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be Bullseye if there were.
And the sort of like that Tony would say in one, you say, keep the little lady happy with these heated rollers. There's certain things I said
that definitely would
probably
be
need a tweak. Some of the scripts probably don't they? With these his and hers bathrobes. I mean, that's some very odd prizes, didn't they? It was a eclectic old lineup.
But that's what made the show memorable as well, didn't
Yeah.
it? Like, so many people still talk about those prizes, and
Yeah.
it's just it's really lovely to see, especially like the tweets and comments on Facebook. So yeah, you'll have to tune in to see what prizes are in store for this series.
Yeah.
And I think the feeling has been there's a nod to the original series.
Yeah. I think there has to be, doesn't there?
Absolutely.
You can't, yeah.
It's like the cuddly toy on the old generation
Exactly,
they
yeah.
brought into the next series. And I think Bullseye have tried to do that, but it also has a very new, modern feel to it. So I think there's a good balance.
Are you very protective? I guess you are, really. As in when they talk about what they want to do with the format, you have conversations along the way and say what you're happy with and maybe not what
Yes,
you're not. Yeah.
definitely. So it's a very privileged position to be in, that I can sort of represent Dad's formats, and obviously it's going from a half-hour show to an hour show. So yes, there have been some changes, and I'm always part of those discussions. So I feel that this version of Bullseye is very true to the origins of the show.
And Andy and I worked with the director, a guy called Peter Harris, the original director back in the day. Sadly, no longer with us, but again, an incredible character. And again, he told us a few tales of behind the scenes at Bullseye, but he had a lot of fun. But he was quite a character, wasn't he, Peter?
Yes, it was. I think I met Peter a few times. I was quite young in those original series, but that's the one thing I hear from people that have been on the show. So many people have such great memories. The cast, the crew, everyone had a fantastic time, and I think that's what gives it such a warm, cozy vibe for
and you've
Bullseye.
still got those guys that bring the big prize on in the coats that used to be there. You think they'd put those long brown, like they'd come to fix your telly, those long brown, or whatever. But they're in the polo shirts these days.
Yeah, one of them carrying a broom. Yeah.
So, we can't wait for it to be back. So, you say it's an hour now. It's gone to an hour format. This is often the case these days. And lots of top players. And
And a new round as well.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So look forward to that on Sunday.
Different from the pilot?
Yes.
Okay.
It's different. It's an addition. Nothing's lost, but it's an extra.
Right. And who, do we know, can we tell us tease us for who's going to be in the first episode? Will it be all those guys? Or you said Luke's in the first one,
Luke
isn't he?
Littler is in the first show, yes.
Brilliant. We look forward to that. So 8 o'clock on ITV. Yeah, it's great to have it back. It's
Luke was great in the pilot. He really entered into the spirit of the
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And he loved it. And it's a new thing for him. I mean, obviously he wasn't born when it was on, so
No.
this is
No,
great.
that's very true.
And he knows there's the heritage. He knows there's the history. So he feels he's really pleased to be on it.
Yeah, he was delighted.
Brilliant. Good to see you, Laura. And Richard, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, and thank you for the bendy. We got little bullies. Look at that.
Little desk bullies for you.
Yes, bullies.
And can I just tell you what time it's on Sunday?
8 o'clock, isn't it?
In 8.
Oh, sorry. Do you want to give us a 180 while you're here? What's your trademark 180, Richard, normally?
180!
It's good, isn't it?
For a small man, you project quite spectacularly. Good to see you both. Thank you very much. Laura Wood there and Richard Ashdown. 8 o'clock on Sunday night. Bullseye is back. Stan Collymore, I bet he'd like Bully. Stan.
Oh, yeah.
He'll join us next for a bit of a chat about that. And we'll have some Falls panel for you as well. Spurs, Manchester United, Chelsea, Wolves, Manchester City, Liverpool. 03717223344. If you want to represent the talkSPORT listeners today, be our panel B to take us on, and Jim Proudfoot, and of course Stan. But the news headlines are next.
More of the same, please. That's Thomas Tuchel's message to the England players after picking his latest squad. Having already qualified for the World Cup, he's now recalled Bellingham and Foden, who both missed the last couple of camps. Meanwhile, Alex Scott has been called up for the very first time, and Tuchel has praised the young Bournemouth midfielder.
He performed his way into this nomination, and he will come as a number 8. Hopefully he can prove us right and show us his talent and personality.
You can see the full squad at talksport.com. Elsewhere, Liverpool go to Man City this weekend in what's already being seen as a crunch tie in the title race. But Arne Slot just wants to stay in the moment.
Our focus is on getting consistent and improving, getting players fit. Then we will see where that will lead to. But at this moment of time, it's definitely not the only focus we have is the league table.
Well, Slot might not be worrying about the spring just yet, but former Liverpool and City midfielder Didi Hamann reckons Sunday could have significant implications.
They're 7 points behind now. If you were to lose, it could be 10. I wouldn't say it's the end of their their charge to defend the title, but it'll be a big ask.
And Rob Edwards' Middlesbrough press conference has been cancelled today. He's one of the favourites for the Wolves job.
What a big weekend we've got on talkSPORT. And it's about to heat up again. Polinia, it is 2-0. Found Fernandez, he can find the corner.
And this is the moment, this is the season.
Great ball, Marino, 2-0. Lovely goal for Arsenal. Jacket deflected and in. Goal within 44 seconds in the second half.
Caicedo down the middle, he squares it to Pedro. It's 1-0 to Chelsea.
Schade, he's in, he scores. Back out to Guimaraes, and Bruno Guimaraes gets above the marker and heads the ball in. Tapped in by Watkins, 1-1. And Semenyo finishes the night off.
You just don't get drama like this anywhere else.
This is a big game for both these clubs.
Sarr hits it in for 3. Into the area, Welbeck's header, and they've done it. What an epic battle we have unfolding. Here's Haaland! It's another record, another goal. Given away, Mo Salah! This time he'll count.
The drama, the tension.
This is Premier League football at its best.
Yeah, get it while you can, the Premier League, because we're 2 weeks of international action.
Oh, yippee.
Let's talk England now. Stan Collymore joins us. Hi, Stan.
Paul, Andy, happy Friday to you.
Yeah, Bullseye, Stan, back in the day. Would you sit there and watch that?
Yes, like a bit of bully. Of course you would. What was it, Dusty Bin you used to get, didn't you?
Oh, he was in, yeah. He was, I'll get 3-2-1, the hardest quiz in the world.
3-2-1 as well, yeah.
I don't think...
I like both of those. I'm not a massive dart man myself, but
really? Okay.
yes, 3-2-1 and Bullseye. Bit of Jim Bowen. Very much... part of the fabric of my childhood.
Indeed, yeah. So England, Foden and Bellingham back, Stan.
Yeah, very happy. I mean, I think that we were getting to the stage where if they wouldn't have been brought back for this squad, they may well have ended up being the story because of, Jude Bellingham is such a big personality and divides opinion, I think, amongst some England fans and Premier League fans. They don't get to see him week in and week out in the Premier League, of course, so they make a lot of assumptions about him. But I'm really glad that Phil Foden is back, and I'm really, really, really excited that Thomas Tuchel has basically said, I don't see him as a wide man. He's going to play, when he does play for us, as that sort of number 10, picking the ball up, going past people, creating chances, getting shots on target. And we've been basically crying out for that for years. I think that he was a victim, Phil Foden, of his success individually and as a Manchester City player, that going back to the 2021 Euros, that he was stuck on the left, he was stuck on the right, they tried him at 10. And because you don't have a chance and an opportunity to be able to settle in a position, I think that he that carried on into his club form. So the fact that Thomas Tuchel has said, no, I want him to play as an attacker, central, creative is great. As for Jude Bellingham, there was all the stuff, does he like Bellingham? Doesn't he like Bellingham? Jude Bellingham will be one of the first 2 or 3 names on the team sheet when it comes to the World Cup. And I think that if we accept that Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham are going to start, I'm sure we'll come to Alex Scott and Wharton and Anderson and Foden next, is that it's one more player and one more position which is that a sort of attacking central player, is up for grabs. So it's a really positive squad. I love the fact that Alex Scott's been brought in. Reminds me very much of a Jack Grealish before he went to Manchester City. He can play as a 6, an 8, or as a 10. He glides past people. He takes the ball and attacks really well with the ball. So in midfield, I think that England are really set fair to move forward now, have some stability, get the games, still qualifiers left to play in friendlies. But it's other areas of the pitch that are the glowing concern really for England.
I want to ask you, when Faye Crothers asked Thomas Tuchel, who is Foden in competition with? And he thought about it briefly and he said, no, well, I guess Harry Kane. What do you make of that? Oh, Stan frozen. I think we seem to have... He was thinking about it very intently, or he has frozen.
He'll come back in a second.
Here we will.
I'm here.
Oh, you're back.
Have to ask
Gotcha.
that again.
Yeah, sorry, Stan. Faye Crothers asked him who Foden was in competition with in light of the fact he wants him to play more centrally, and Tuchel said Harry Kane.
Yeah, I mean, look, Phil Foden isn't a central... he's not a false 9, and he's not going to play as a 9. I think that there are real problems around England's striking capability if there is anything that happened to Harry Kane in terms of his form or his fitness. But I do think that nailing down that he's not a wide man means that we can all stop speculating about Phil Foden playing to the left or the right. We've got really good options now in both wide positions, real pace, real intent. So for me, I don't think it's a case of Phil Foden is going to replace... It would be the option to replace Harry Kane if Harry Kane wasn't fit. I think that still has to come down to the likes of Ollie Watkins. Maybe Liam Delap may get caps as the season goes on. But for me, it just nails down that Phil Foden is going to be an attacking number 10 or an attacking conduit centrally. And then we've got to ask the question is, would that interfere with Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham in terms of what they would want to do in terms of their attacking attempt for England?
As long as he has a system and he doesn't try and shoehorn them all in, you have the right player in the right place, which you get the sense he's going to do that. I was a bit surprised that you didn't think Welbeck was worth a go. I think his form is fantastic and he could be so useful in a World Cup, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that if you've not been involved for quite some time, I mean, it wouldn't be the first, England player or international player of a certain vintage to get into a squad, late in the day and not only get into a squad, but make an impact if he was called upon. Great professional. I think he's a model for, when you leave a club like Man United and then Arsenal, and you could argue it didn't happen for him either, is that he's been exceptional. And if he was put in, Andy, in the squad, I'd have no problem with it. I just think that we need goals centrally, and we need as near as damn it, because if we've rectified the central attacking midfield position, Phil Foden, Scott, Jude Bellingham, any number of players, Jack Grealish if he were ever to come back in, is that you've got to have players that you can guarantee in the box to finish chances. And I think he's a little bit too long in the tooth. I'm not convinced that he'd be quick enough these days. And that's why, for me, Ollie Watkins is really important, that he's going to have to kick on. He's been disappointing for Villa this season in terms of his goals output, despite Villa, turning a corner and being competitive. So I think it'll be Harry Kane, and then I think he'll be hoping that Ollie Watkins is back firing and fit as the season goes on. But I'd put Danny Welbeck in with, Calvert-Lewin, Solanke. It's all right saying, well, they might have done well this season, or they're central strikers, so we just need somebody. Is that if we were playing, Germany or Spain or Italy, and you were desperate for a goal, Ollie Watkins, of course, weighed in an important game at the last Euros. So his pedigree in terms of, we know that if you put the ball in the box, he'll score. I'm not sure you could apply that to anybody other than Harry Kane or Ollie Watkins.
Are there some boys, Stan, finally, that should be potentially booking their summer holidays now because they're not in this squad, or is it too early?
Morgan Gibbs-White needs to look over his shoulder. I think particularly with Alex Scott getting in, Scott can play a number of positions, and Thomas Tuchel will like that he can play as a 6, an 8 or as a 10. So I think that Morgan Gibbs-White really needs to step up for Forest. He's been lukewarm so far this season. And of course, the other one is Jack Grealish. His stats have held up for Everton, but I think he's got to have an absolutely outstanding remaining 2/3 of the season to get back in the squad, because we've got options left, we've got options right, we've got Foden now being told that he's going to be central attacking, we've got players like Scott brought into the squad. So for me, Jack Grealish and Morgan Gibbs-White have to now be stellar for them to get into an England squad that goes to a World Cup.
What about fit Cole Palmer, finally?
Yes, I mean, Cole Palmer, absolutely. But again, the question I'll put back to you, where does Cole Palmer, we know his ability, but I think that if he's fit and he plays 10, 15 games of any quality towards the end of the season, I think he's one of the first, not one of the first names on the team sheet, but one of the players that you would put in the England category of can change outcomes positively against anybody in world football.
That's Dan Collymore, and you'll hear both the games against Serbia and Albania live on talkSPORT. We're going to turn our attention to the Premier League shortly and look at 3 big games this weekend. Just to let you know that ahead of one of those games we're going to look at, Spurs Manchester United, Ollie Klink was joined by Ricky Sachs and Manchester United fan Flex on the talkSPORT Daily podcast. It's available now. They previewed the game. They discussed which team has kicked on the most since the Europa League final back in May. So you can tune in on the talkSPORT app or wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget, you can tune in for Spurs v Manchester United on Game Day exclusive from 11 a.m. tomorrow. Falls panel up next. We're here with our good friends at Toolstation. Check out Toolstation's unmissable Milwaukee deals. Shopping on store, online or on the app. Next stop, Toolstation. Time for the Falls panel then. We're going to look at 3 big games this weekend, 2 of which you'll hear exclusively live on talkSPORT, and try and predict the scores. We'll get 3 points for getting it absolutely right, 1 point for getting the outcome right, and nothing for getting it wrong, of course. This is the league standings so far. Andy Jacobs, 1 point for him last week. He's on 13. We had Andy, the Newcastle fan, 0 points for him. They stay on 15. 1 for me, mid-table on 18. The commentators represented by Ollie Klink on 20, but no points for them last week. Stan just nerdling away, 1 point for him. He stays top on
scoring
22. It was a point. It was quite difficult to predict, yeah. So, let's say hello to our commentator today, Jim Proudfoot. Good afternoon, Jim.
Hello, Paul. How are you?
Not so bad. You've got a bit of Chelsea Wolves tomorrow evening, haven't you?
A bit of Chelsea Wolves. We'll see whether Rob Edwards is in charge or not after the developments in today, or whether it's still going to be Jamie Collins taking over. But it's going to be tough for him either way. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, that's right, Andy. You're a bit nervous because you think they'll turn up sometimes for Spurs, but not for Wolves.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
that is it's mentality with Chelsea. Until they get that right, they're not going to achieve what they want.
Let's say hello to the talkSPORT listener, who is Jamie, the Bournemouth fan. Hello, Jamie.
Good afternoon, guys. How you doing?
Yeah, not so bad. You must be feeling good about life at the moment. Your boys playing pretty well. I thought they were a bit unlucky, even at City last week. Chances to make it 2-2, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think last season we would have sort of slipped off at sort of 1-0 and maybe lost a bit more than we did. I know we lost 3-1, but no, it's a good time to be a Bournemouth fan. That's for sure.
Playing Alex Scott in the England squad, not so bad.
Yeah, he's a very, very good player. Got a bad injury when he first came to us, but yeah he's a really, really top player.
He was another one. I was surprised that people weren't taking a chance to pick him up. It was Bristol City, wasn't it? He came from. I thought
Bristol City. Yeah,
he looked a really good player, a bit like Jarrod Bowen. You think, why is it taking these teams so long? You can see they're good players. Anyway, Bournemouth got there. Let's get underway then. Stan's going to kick us off because he's top. It's the game I'll be at tomorrow. Spurs versus Manchester United. What do you reckon, Stan?
Yeah, I mean, if you could look at the stats and think that it should be Spurs, completed the Premier League double over Manchester United last season, won the Europa League. Manchester United are winless in their last 7 meetings with Spurs. But Spurs are a little bit iffy at home, and certainly that game against Chelsea was they weren't great. Manchester United have had the most shots in the Premier League so far this season. Manager and Mbumo picking up individual gongs. So I'm going to sit firmly on the fence with this one. Tottenham Hotspur 1, Manchester United 1.
1-1, says Stan. Jim, what do you reckon?
I'm going to go for United. Just on the basis that Spurs' home form has been really disappointing. I mean, what is it? 3 points in the last 5 home games, 4 points in the last 5 home games. It's not good enough. I know that Thomas Frank has got ideas of how to sort it out, but I just think that United will go there. Okay, they've only won once away from home, but I think that they are improving, and I think it will be another difficult home game. I think there's a worry that if United start well, there could be a little bit of toxicity in there. So I'm going to go for Spurs 1, Manchester United 2.
Yeah, a better atmosphere and a much better performance against Copenhagen, but Manchester United are better than Copenhagen, I'll give you that. And Mbumo and Cunha are going to be a real problem for Spurs. I think it's going to be tough. It looks like Kudus isn't going to make it from what the managers have said in his press conference. Says he's touch and go, so why risk him, really? And maybe a bit of continuity, not a bad thing from Wednesday. I'll go for the draw as well with Stan. I'll go 2 each. What do you think, Jamie, the Bournemouth fan?
Yeah, I think Spurs' injury list is ever growing. You say Kudus isn't playing. Man United to get a bit more confident. I think it's going to be 3-1 to Manchester United.
Wow, 3-1, blimey.
I'd be surprised.
And Andy?
The thing from Spurs that sort of shocked me last week was the lack of intensity. I just couldn't get over that. The way they approached a huge London derby. I mean, East underage, they sort of flew into the tackles.
Massively off it, created really nothing.
Strange.
I know.
If they put in another performance like that, it will be 3-1, but I don't think they will. I'm going to go, I think there'll be goals. I'm going to go with you, 2-2.
2-2, OK. talkSPORT listeners, I'm in the car. Next up, then, that's live on talkSPORT 12:30 tomorrow lunchtime. The one Jim's going to be commentating on. Faye Carruthers, your host for that one. And Alan Pardew alongside Jim for Chelsea Wolves. Stan?
Can't see anything other than a convincing home win. The stats back that up. Wolves have won just one of their 11 Premier League away games at Chelsea. Chelsea have scored 5+ goals in 4 different Premier League games against Wolves. No manager, which I think is difficult for an interim manager to come in and just sort of, galvanise the troops. Chelsea will look at this on the back of a good win against Spurs and say, right, let's get some momentum pre-Christmas. Chelsea 3, Wolves 0.
3-0, says Stan. Jim?
I think it's going to be a little bit more edgy than that. I mean, that cup tie, I know that, it was 10 days ago and the two teams were completely different to what we'll see tomorrow night, but what a belter that was, the Chelsea 4-3 win. I think that Wolves will be a little bit more organised defensively. I think that they'll be tougher to break down. Chelsea will be mindful of those Brighton and Sunderland home defeats, but they'll get the job done. I think 1 in each half. I'm going to go for Chelsea 2, Wolves 0.
2-0, yeah. I think along similar lines. I think you just have a bit too much from him. I can see him scoring, maybe Strand Larson, but I'm going 3-1 Chelsea. I think it'll be quite comfortable on the night. What about you, Jamie?
Wolves are poor, really, and have been all season. Even without a manager, I think that's not going to make any difference. Chelsea can be a bit Jekyll and Hyde, as Andy knows, but I think there'll be goals. I think it'll be 4-1 to Chelsea.
Very comfortable. Andy?
I think it'll be 1-1.
You don't?
I do. I know what Chelsea are like. They're so ridiculous.
1-1.
They're so ridiculous at home. The way they approach home games.
You really think 1-1?
Yeah, I do. I can absolutely see that happen.
Well, maybe Maresca can pin that to the dressing room wall. TalkSport.
I need the points.
Yeah, you do need the points. And that one live on TalkSport, 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Game day live. Sam Matterface, Lucy Wall, Perry Groves. City Liverpool, massive game on Sunday. They will keep you in touch with that one.
Game.
So, Stan, what about this one?
Yeah, if you need 3 points, if you're desperate for it, play Aston Villa. And Liverpool got a huge confidence boost. So they played very well, to be fair. They penned Villa in to both halves of the game. Took the game to them, and they did very well. Obviously, as well, a big result against Real Madrid in the Champions League. So, certainly, from a confidence perspective, the landscape is completely different to 2 or 3 weeks ago. Whenever I was seeing Liverpool influencers saying slot out, which I just think is insane. Having said that, Manchester City, no team since April has picked up more Premier League points. They're looking a lot more like the City that we know and expect to win games. And I think because of that, they'll just edge it. Manchester City 2, Liverpool 1.
Yeah. What about you, Jim?
Well, ominously for Stan, I've written down exactly the same. 2-1 to Manchester City. I mean, they won 6 in a row at home. And Liverpool, okay, they were much better during the week against Real Madrid, but they have lost 4 of their last 5 away games and were, palpably second best at Brentford. I think that City will have enough, and they're a very different type of test. And, you could argue it's one that suits Liverpool a little bit more than some of the previous ones. But I still think City will have enough for them, and I think that City will beat them 2-1.
2-1. I've written 2-1 down as well. I can't do 2-1. I'm going to have to come up with something else.
Don't let us get in your head, Paul.
No, I'm going to go 3-1. I think it's going to be quite comfortable for City. I know that is very high risk. But anyway, 3-1 I'm going with. What about you, Jamie?
I think it's a classic Desmond. 2-2, good game. Liverpool getting better. City, they're always good games, City, Liverpool, 2-2.
Okay, and...
Yeah, me too, I've gone 2-2.
You've gone for the draw?
Horace Batchelor today, I've gone for 3 draws.
3 draws, fantastic. Again, put that on your coupon if you're still doing the pools, Andy. Excellent. Jamie, have a good weekend. Thanks for joining us.
Nice one. Thanks, guys.
Nice one. Jim, we'll hear from you tomorrow night. Look forward to it. Thanks, Jim.
Yep, and tonight as well over on TalkSport 2, Watford against Bristol City.
Oh,
so
wow.
Thank you very much, fellas.
Double shift. Fantastic. Watford. And a fine win during the week for the mighty Torquay at Farnborough.
A fine, very enjoyable evening, yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
Brilliant.
Cheers, Jim. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
There we are, Jim White there. Jim Proudfoot there, should I say. And thank you, Stan. We'll catch up with you next week.
Stan. Have a good weekend, chaps.
Cheers.
I'm just creating more clips for Clips of the Week. Brilliant. Okay, coming up next, we will be chatting to Todd Macklin. We're going to look at the world of American sports. We'll have the clips of the week for you. We'll hear from the gaffers out of the weekend's football. And we'll have some of Andy's nonsense by numbers, amongst other things. That's all in the final hour.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van Range. Supporting van owners to get the job done. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon, I'm Toby Gillis. He proved he had to be in the squad. Thomas Tuchel on the return of Jude Bellingham for England. But how much of a headache does Phil Foden's call-up add, given Bellingham and Rodgers are competing for the number 10? It turns out a lot.
The main thing with Phil is that he gets a role in the central part of the pitch. I don't see him as a winger at the moment, and maybe not anymore. He should have a central role. I think that brings out his strengths the most.
Bournemouth's Alex Scott has his first call-up, but Miles Lewis-Skelly is now out of the squad, with Nico O'Reilly, the recognised left-back for Serbia and Albania next week, live on talkSPORT. Our England correspondent Faye Carruthers told Paul and Andy, right now Lewis-Skelly looks an outsider for the World Cup.
We're in November and there's still a long way to go. We've got 7 months until the World Cup squad is announced in May. A lot of injuries, a lot of time, a lot of time for him to win his spot back at Arsenal.
Is the Man United turnaround complete? October's form was so good that they've scooped the Premier League's Manager and Player of the Month awards for Ruben Amorim and Brian Burmo, respectively. They're at Spurs tomorrow lunchtime, live and exclusive on talkSPORT. The early evening game tomorrow sees Arsenal face Granit Xhaka for the first time since his exit when they go to Sunderland. Mikel Arteta has been raving about the impact he had on his early period as boss.
He made me a better coach. He helped us to develop and improve a lot as a football team and as a club. And I will be eternally grateful because I have great memories with him.
Plenty more at talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
An Algerian sex offender who was wrongly released from jail has been found after a 9-day manhunt, and a Polish woman who claims to be Madeleine McCann could be kicked out of the UK for harassing the missing toddler's family. The news team has more in half an hour.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. With a huge range of premium brands available, we've got what you need to drive away happy every time. Visit your local centre or quickfit.com and book today.
A band of rain moving northeast from the southwest, hitting the north this evening.
Power on talkSPORT. With Paddy's Super Sub, your new bet rolls over to the new player coming on. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Yes, good afternoon. Paul Hawksbee and Andy Jacobs here on talkSPORT. Clips of the month to come, and Tom Macklin joining us to cover a lot of ground in the world of American sports. And we'll hear from the managers ahead of the weekend's games. But before all that, it is time for today's Bet Builder with our friends at Paddy Power. We welcome Max Thompson and we look ahead to the game tomorrow lunchtime in the Premier League as Spurs entertain Manchester United at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Hello, Max.
Hey, guys. How's things?
Yeah, not so bad. I'm hoping for the curse of the manager and player of the month from a Tottenham point of view, but we shall see. Probably explain first how the Bet Builder works.
Yep. So we've got a 5-leg Bet Builder here. So Paul's got a pick, Andy's got a pick. Sean, the producer's got a pick. The people have a pick, which is the most popular bet on site at the minute. And I also have a pick. So that comes together for a 5-leg bet builder with all the proceeds going to our charity partner, the Attitude Foundation, hopefully, if it wins.
Well, no one, when we did the Falls panel just now, saw anything less than 3 goals. So I've gone for the fairly obvious both teams to score.
Yeah, despite Man United being sort of in form at the minute, 4 of their last 5 games have seen both teams to score, so you could sort of see definitely Man United get on the score sheet, and also they're vulnerable in defence, so I could easily see that happening.
Andy?
I've gone with Cunha to have 1+ shots on target. I mean, he's really coming into form now, so you'd expect that minimum.
Yeah, he's been impressive, hasn't he? He looks right at home at Man United. He's actually had 5 shots on target in his last 5 games, so you'd expect that trend to continue as well.
So producer Sean's gone from Brian Mbomo to score at any point. That would be, the story, ex-Thomas Frank player at Brentford, etc.
Yeah, I think Tottenham were chasing him in the summer as well, weren't they? But opted for Man United, and he's been brilliant for them, hasn't he? He's their top scorer in the Premier League with 4 goals, and he'll hope to add to that tomorrow night.
Yeah, I can only imagine what would have been the case had they got him in the summer. But the popular bet amongst Paddy Power punters doing a bet builder at the moment is a United win, Max.
Yeah, you would have thought this a few weeks ago, but in form Man United, yeah, they've unbeaten in the last 5 games, or 4 games, I should say, with 3 of those being wins. And also Spurs, they had a poor performance in their last week against Chelsea, so you could see Man United taking all 3 points here.
If only that bloke with the hair had gone not lose 5 games as opposed to win 5 games. Life would have been so much easier for him. And what have you gone with, Matt?
Well, I've gone with a bit of a strange one here, but I've gone with Mickey van der Ven to have a shot on target. This is purely based on his absolute wonder goal during the week. I just think the crowd in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium will be egging him on again to get forward, and I reckon he'll have another strike tomorrow. So
if this all comes off, what are we looking at?
Yeah, so this 5-leg bet builder comes in at around 31 to 1, so £10 on that would return around £324 for charity, hopefully, when it comes in.
OK. Normally I want us to win for the charity, but as this involves United winning and Mbeumo scoring, I can take it or leave it, I'll be honest. Of course not. Cheers, Max. Have a good weekend.
Cheers, guys.
Max Thompson there from Paddy Power. That's Paddy's bet builder for today. Minimum odds 1 to 5 per leg. 18 plus BigGamblerWare.org.
Paddy Power on talkSPORT. With Paddy's Super Sub, your new bet rolls over to the new player coming on. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus BigGamblerWare.org.
You're right, Andy. You having a little chat with yourself?
Yeah, I'm talking about Tottenham tomorrow. I think they're going to approach the game differently.
Yeah, well, I mean, as I said, they should get some sort of lift. I mean, Xavi Simon's putting some very fine passes, look really busy. If he can kind of pick up where he left off, I think there's some good performances from Collymore as well. He should have scored, but you know, the crowd.
They do have the advantage, United, at the moment of not playing in Europe.
I mean, having a
big
clear week off.
But to be honest, the last few results,
I'd much rather have gone into this game having played on Wednesday the way we played and the goals we scored than going in after Chelsea last week. True. To be honest,
and Chelsea had a very tough game in the week. That was a really difficult.
Yeah, game. I only saw the highlights. There was a good goal by Garnacho. It was good.
Played really well.
What Karabag did?
Yeah, they were really good. I don't know. You know, obviously his changes didn't help. You know,
where do you stand on the rotation then? Are they going to keep doing it?
It was a bit strange. I felt a bit for Hatto. You know, he's really more a left back at the moment. He's not really a centre half yet, and he just had a poor game, and both goals were down to him.
Yeah.
Really.
We've got your nonsense by numbers, Andy. Some of your fine cuttings. Maybe I can come up with some numbers. Fancy that?
Yeah, why not?
71 is 71 spoken for or not?
Yeah, it would help if they weren't upside down.
Oh, okay. That often does help. Yeah, here we go then.
Let's go.
71. Just talk amongst yourselves. You are listening to talkSPORT, 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
It will be Drive with Ali Oladipo and Darren Bent, and then
71.
71, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we used to have a jingle for this.
Oh, did we?
Britain's fastest growing sport.
Britain's fastest growing sport.
You know what it is?
Britain's is it? It's not litter picking, is it? We did that yesterday.
It's croquet, apparently.
Is it?
No, not really.
Well, I mean, honestly, you walk past any piece of waste ground at the moment, there's just hundreds of people playing croquet.
It's just croquet players insist.
The producer makes a point. Not paddle. Surely paddle is. Surely it's not even an argument.
This is what it says here. It's not just for aristocrats. It's one of the fastest growing sports on the planet.
Really?
Yeah, the World Team Championship is currently taking place in West Sussex.
No one has said to me in the last few months, blimey, all I could get was like 10 o'clock on a Sunday night. No one said that about croquet, Andy. Maybe it's because obviously the light failing, it wouldn't really work unless it's floodlit croquet. Have you ever played? You played? I played for fun. It's actually a fun. I didn't play it properly. I played it just on holiday.
Hotels.
It was fun. Yeah, it's a good game.
It's quite fun, yeah.
Should we say 19?
19.
The Paul Hardcastle.
Be exciting. 19.
Yeah.
It is. This is another story about Gen Z.
Oh, yeah.
There are a whole collection of these stories that older people have got it in for them.
Okay. What is it? You haven't. You're down with the kids.
I mean, you know, it's just a different generation with a different set of ideas.
That's right.
It's normal. Fuel anxiety drives Gen Z away from the pump. Generation Z are already known for avoiding phone calls. Now they found a new source of dread. I mean, it's ridiculous if it's true.
Yeah.
The petrol station.
Wow.
6 in 10 young drivers are so anxious they're afraid of filling up their cars. I mean, that can't be
What,
true.
putting the wrong stuff in, putting the old diesel in?
So, yeah, but I mean, it's very strange, isn't it?
Can be a bit, I mean, if you're a new driver, it can be a bit daunting. Got to get on the right side, you've got a queue.
Yeah, you've got to pick, don't pick the diesel one.
Don't pick the wrong one.
Yeah, no, I suppose
That's
so.
it. It could be self-service. I mean, I don't want to make you anxious, Andy, next time you go to
I'm
the
not
garage.
anxious about it.
In your day, it was different, wasn't it? You just cranked that handle on the front.
No,
and
in my
off
day,
you went.
what would happen is you drive into the station, there'd be somebody there ready to put your petrol in for you.
Yeah. Oh, so when I was in Italy recently, that was
They
still
still have
happening.
that, don't they?
Yeah.
It's great. But,
Anyway.
It's all
That's
self-service
all changed.
around
Used to be
here.
all trees around here.
Yeah.
So, Todd Macklin joins us next. Lots of ground to cover in the world of American sports this week. We'll have clips of the week for you coming up as well. Of course, we're here with our very good friends at Tool Station. You can check out Tool Station's unmissable Milwaukee Power Tools deals. Shop in store, online, or on the app. Next stop, Tool Station.
Get in the ring to win on talkSPORT.
Yes, we've got a new prize up for grabs, and it's a knockout. We're giving you the chance to win 2 tickets to the highly anticipated rematch between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday the 15th of November. The prize includes a one-night stay at a 5-star hotel in London, plus £5,000 spending money to make it an unforgettable weekend. So listen up, here's how to enter.
18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word BOX to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus 1 standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission, or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 3338. All entries must be received by the 13th of November at 1 p.m. and you need to answer our call to win. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
Time once again to talk American sports with Todd Macklin. Good afternoon, Todd.
Hi, boys.
So, when we left you last week, it looked like the Toronto Blue Jays, your local team, although not the team you support, we should point out in the world of baseball, were looking very strong to win the World Series. But in the topsy-turvy nature of the sort of postseason, the Dodgers came through, won 5-4. 51 million people watched in the States and Canada.
It was
and
one of
Japan.
the best World Series of all time.
Yeah.
It was historic, wasn't it?
Pretty amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah, I would describe it as one of the best if you weren't a fan of the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Because if you're a fan of the Blue Jays, listen, I'm 57 years old. I've seen a lot of sporting events. To me, it was the most crushing defeat that I've ever seen in sports.
Wow.
There's so many opportunities. The Jays had to win it. They were winning for most of the game. And then all of a sudden they didn't win it. And so it is like, I just couldn't imagine being a Blue Jays fan. Just so devastating, the loss. Up 3-2, the last 2 games at home. Yeah, just so many layers to it that were just so crushing to Jays fans.
There's a controversial call at the plate that was crucial that you'll tell us about. I've watched that play, so I don't know how the umpires decide. I don't know how anybody decides.
What was the context? What went wrong then, Todd?
So it was the bottom of the 9th inning. The score was tied. The Blue Jays had the bases loaded with 1 out, and they hit a ground ball to second base. Now, normally, a runner on third base would get a fairly sizable lead, right, which would help him get to home plate quicker when he had to run to home plate. But the night before, the game ended on a double play where a Blue Jays base runner went off the base too far and got doubled off, and it ended the game. So that was kind of in the mind of the coaches, and the Blue Jays runner didn't get as big a lead on third base and was thrown out at home by an inch. The Blue Jays challenged it. Could you imagine if the World Series ended on a challenge play? It wasn't, but the runner was out by like a fraction of a second, an inch. I mean, we talk about baseball as a game of inches. That was a perfect example. The game stayed tied. The Dodgers eventually took the lead and then won the World Series. You know, as Andy rightly points out, that is one of the many talking points that if it had just gone the other way, the Blue Jays would have been World Series champs. But guys, again, in all the sorrow of the Blue Jays, the Dodgers won back-to-back.
Yeah.
It is so hard to win a championship once. To do it back-to-back is a pretty incredible feat.
Yeah, fine margins, as you say. Now, we had a game of football last night. Broncos beat the Raiders 10-7 in what was described as a pretty ugly game. What did you make of it, Todd?
Yeah, listen, I have a saying in sports, and listen, it's not new. You should not have to apologize after a win. Right, guys? In professional sports, it doesn't matter what it looks like. You got to get a win. And the Broncos did. They're now 8 wins and 2 losses. They're the first team to get to 8 wins in the NFL. But I will say this, they didn't look good last night. Actually, let's be honest. Their offense looked terrible last night. Their defense looked great. So a lot of talk from the offense saying, hey, we got to be a lot better. We can't have our defense keep winning games. So defensively, the Broncos, are just one of the best teams. They are in the mix, right, in the AFC as being one of the teams that's going to compete for the Super Bowl. Their division, though, is packed, right? They got the Chiefs in their division. They got the Chargers in their division. So still a long way to go, but they are going to be in the mix. It will just help their cause if their offense just becomes that much better. Then they'll just be such a complete team and a real favorite to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, no one's really talking about it. I saw a load of pundits saying they don't really rate the Broncos, don't think they could go all the way at the Super Bowl. So it's halfway through the season, Todd. So if you were calling it now, would you still go for the Chiefs? Could they come back and do it again?
Listen, I think as we know about this with the Chiefs, count out the Chiefs at your peril. So absolutely, I would put the Chiefs among those teams that I would describe as Super Bowl favorites. Listen, the Chiefs lost to the Bills again in the regular season. I think it was the 5th or 6th time in the regular season that the Bills have beaten the Chiefs. But as we know, the Bills can't beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. And that's what matters on the road to the Super Bowl. So definitely for me, Chiefs still in it.
There was the first of, I'm sure, a number of moment silences for Marshall Nealand, who died yesterday, 24 after scoring his first touchdown on Monday. It's a really shocking story, Todd.
It is. Listen, when you see the age of someone, and 24 is just far too young, and you just think, hey, they're on top of the world, right? Like this is what they wanted to be, a football player. They're playing in the NFL. They're playing for the Dallas Cowboys, but you just never know what they're going through. Sure. And and I think that's just the one we've all got to remind ourselves. These athletes, even at the top of their games, are still human and go through the same things that we go through.
Absolutely. Now, on to the NBA, and we've talked a bit about Cooper Flagg. He was the NBA #1 pick, and there was quite a lot expected of him. And he went off to the Dallas Mavericks, and he's had a pretty tough time. The team aren't going great. And he was interviewed. It was just very telling. He said, I haven't lost this many games in, ever, really, in his whole life. He's always been the best player. Everything he's ever done up until this point has always worked. And suddenly he's in the majors, and this stuff's not working quite as easily anymore. So he's probably not the first sort of hot rookie to find himself in this situation, but I thought it was quite interesting.
Yeah, Paul, you are so right. He is not the first rookie to find himself in this situation, and he won't be the last, right? But what you become, a lot of it is, we're in these tough times, right? Like it has been tough at every level before this. He's been able to dominate and kind of on his own, right? Be enough to win the games, and it's just not like that in the NBA. And listen, at any pro league, and it's a tough situation for him because Dallas was supposed to be better, but Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis, their 2 star players, are both injured, so he's the focal point for a lot of these teams. And before we leave this, I guess the last thing to point out, he's 18 years old, right? Like he's playing against guys that have been in the league much longer than him. So this is, hey, listen, this is the time that you figure things out, and we'll find out. Is he going to be a long-term solution for Dallas, or is he going to be one of those many guys that didn't figure it out and didn't last long in the league?
Now we move on to ice hockey, one of your other great loves. Washington Capitals' Alex Ovechkin has already reached the milestone of the most goals. He reached 900 the other day, and obviously probably wanted to keep the puck, but then couldn't find it. But that's because the St. Louis Blues' Jordan Binnington, the goalie, had put the puck down the back of his kecks. Put in the back of his trousers. He claimed afterwards, Todd, that he was always going to give it back to Ovechkin. He was just looking after it to keep it safe. So make of that what you will.
Well, as we know, guys, goalkeepers, and I don't care if it's football or ice hockey, they're a different breed, right? The goaltenders. And Jordan Binnington is a different breed. Yeah, like his temper is legendary. He just doesn't like giving up goals, whether it's someone's first goal or their 900th goal. He doesn't like it. But I gotta believe this was tongue in cheek. Sure. Like, he knows there's cameras everywhere. I believe his personality was, listen, I was always going to give it back, but I'm just going to kind of have fun with this, knowing that there are cameras, right? That everyone knows that it's down the back of his pants or whatever. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, because it is, right? It's part of sports. You like the mementos, right, of your legendary feats.
Now, we'll stay in that region of the body. Charles Barkley, the NBA legend and analyst, was on the Monday Night Football show. Peyton Manning, the famous quarterback, of course, does a Monday Night Football show around the game. Charles Barkley was on there. And, this conversation unfolded. Let's hear what was said.
Doing research for tonight, and Chuck, is it true that you burned all of your underwear almost 20 years ago and haven't worn any since?
Yeah, I realized that underwear were not a necessity. So it was a big fire too, Peyton. So I'm always going Comanche. Is it Comanche?
Commando.
Yeah, I burned all my underwear about 30 years ago.
I mean, throw it out if you decide you don't want to wear underpants anymore, want to go Comanche.
Burn it.
You don't go in the garden and burn it all.
Very ceremonial.
There is something. Yeah, maybe it was the end of the undercrackers. It felt like he had to have closure. But it's something about these sort of these legendary top. They're all, I don't know. It's always something a bit weird, isn't there?
Listen, I got to say this. I agree with a lot of what Charles Barkley says. I couldn't disagree more. I think underpants are a necessity.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely think they are.
Wow.
Not that pair I had in Moscow.
No, yeah, Andy's ones. He didn't stop fidgeting, yeah. He bought the wrong size. And that's another story. Thank you, Tom. I'll catch up with you next week.
See you, boys.
Tom Macklin, a man on American sports. Clips of the week coming up next, and we will hear from the managers before we hand over to Adi Oladipo's in for Andy Goldstein alongside Darren Bent on Drive at 4.
More of the same, please. That's Thomas Tuchel's message to the England players after picking his latest squad. Having already qualified for the World Cup, he's now recalled Bellingham and Foden, who both missed the last couple of camps. Meanwhile, Alex Scott has been called up for the very first time, and Tuchel has praised the young Bournemouth midfielder.
He performed his way into this nomination, and he will come as a number 8. Hopefully he can prove us right and show us his talent and personality.
You can see the full squad at talksport.com. Elsewhere, Liverpool go to Man City this weekend in what's already being seen as a crunch tie in the title race. But Arne Slot just wants to stay in the moment.
Our focus is on getting consistent and improving, getting players fit. Then we will see where that will lead to. But at this moment of time, it's definitely not the only focus we have is the league table.
Well, Slot might not be worrying about the spring just yet, but former Liverpool and City midfielder Didi Hamann reckons Sunday could have significant implications.
They're 7 points behind now. If you were to lose, it could be 10. I wouldn't say it's the end of their charge to defend the title, but it'll be a big ask.
And Rob Edwards' Middlesbrough press conference has been cancelled today. He's one of the favourites for the Wolves job.
Of the week on talkSPORT with Toolstation. Next stop, Toolstation.
talkSPORT clips of the week.
Yes, time once again for the clips of the week with Toolstation. I'll kick us off, Andy, with Jamie O'Hara and Gabby Bonlahor talking West Ham.
His team selections right now have been nothing short of horrible.
Do you know what I feel sorry for? Jarrod Bowen.
Jarrod Bowen. What about Jared Bowen?
Who's Jarrod Bowen?
No idea.
Never heard of him.
And great news for Gunners fans. Based on what we heard at Turf Moor last week, there's a new Arsenal screamer.
Yeah.
This afternoon, we're going to bring you all the goals as they go in, taking you around the ground. Starting at Turf Moor, Burnley, Arsenal, Simon Crabtree.
And Burnley are looking.
Yeah, the Arsenal screamer. Different one, a new one.
Yeah.
Sticking with Arsenal, this was Alan Brazil ahead of their game against Sunderland this weekend.
Coming up, Granit Xhaka takes on his old club, Xhaka.
What does that even mean?
It makes no sense at all.
It doesn't, does it, really?
And let's get even more Arsenal now with Mickey Gray.
And they're defending absolutely brilliantly, as we know, because they've only conceded those 3 goals in the Premier League this season. So I don't know if Mikel Arteta's had a word with his players.
Mikel Arteta, it's a problem free. Yeah, you get the idea. Mikel Arteta, in your own time. Here's Andy Brassel with number 1 of what we're guessing will be a very occasional series. Real footballers that sound like carry-on film characters.
But still a huge, huge result. Hat-trick for Jizz Hornkamp.
Yeah, OK. Well, played by Charles Hawtrey, I believe, in the carry-on film of your choice. Wow.
It's Ali McCoy now, handing over to our newsreader.
talkSPORT News.
Emma has the headlines. Good morning again, Emma. Good morning, Enema. I don't like the sound of that, do you? Maybe Alan said to him, you know, Ali, I do love good morning, Enema.
I normally just have a bowl of prunes myself.
I'm with you, big man. Yeah, stick to the cornflakes, Ali.
It's incredible.
It's back to Big Alan, actually, chatting to the golfing great Lee Westwood.
I'm playing a little bit of golf as well. Playing at Loch Lomond next week.
Oh, lovely. Willie in the locker room.
Well, quite possibly, I would imagine. Once he emerges from the shower. Strange turn of phrase.
This is journalist Craig Hope getting very quickly bored with his robot voice generator.
Yeah, he did.
4 of the 8 qualification spots are currently filled with Premier League sides, and the Daily Mail's Craig Hope has had this to say.
The scores 2 weeks ago for Premier League teams in aggregate. The scores 2 weeks ago for Premier League teams in aggregate.
Yeah, but the joke was a joke, wasn't it, really? You couldn't hear what he was saying, so it was right that he turned it off. Alan Brazil's back one more time, and we get the feeling that his producer got a bit bored with his racing chat.
Well, JP must be in there. You know, we're talking about the new line. I think that's in the scouting yard, isn't it? JP had a big second, didn't he, over on the Melbourne Cup?
It's got a bit bored with it, really. Had enough JP chat, really.
He obviously said to him, break, Alan, and he's just carried on.
You know, JP. Willie in the locker room.
One extra late entry. Yeah. Our newsreader Sinead Garvin having a bit of a moment earlier this afternoon.
Tuchel's number 10 conundrum intensifies, and Amarin and Muhu scoop Premiership awards. Toby has more at 3.
Brian Muhum. So there we are. And finally, it's Dean Ashton getting very excited about Iliman Ndiaye's goal for Everton at Sunderland on Monday.
Not looking to take his time and just play it back to the fullback. It was head down. It was, I'm going to trust my ability. Just little shook it to the left, shook it to the right.
There we are. And it did remind us of something, Andy.
It did, didn't it?
Cue the Spice Girls.
Shook it to the left, shook it to the right.
Not bad.
No, not bad.
Shook it to the left.
Oh, he's off.
Shook it to the right.
He's in that documentary about girl bands.
I think he is, Dean, yeah. We should thank Glyn Barrington, Charles in Darwin. Read this out. Oh, they're back, are they?
Yeah.
Bruce's mate Kareem, have been trying to find out our old mate Bruce Millington. Was sent the clip.
My friend from Brentford, Mark, he sent me the Arteta clip.
Brentford Mark, well done, Brentford Mark. Well done, Kareem. David Clark, Reverend Ruthless, Michael Fawcett, Rob Hurley, Matt Wilcox and Adam Cairns. They all suggested clips that were played. If you hear a clip on talkSPORT over the next 7 days, please do send it in to us. Could be on our sister stations, Virgin, or on Times Radio, or indeed on talkSPORT too. To talksport.com/H&J. Text to 81089. Tweet to TSH&J. And we need a day and a time when you heard it go out so we can listen back. You can listen to the clips of the week and a whole previous back catalogue of clips of the week. Wherever you get your podcast, just look for talkSPORT H&J Clips of the Week and the H&J Daily, featuring some of the main protagonists of the return of Bullseye this weekend. And Gail Emms, who popped in, was very entertaining, chatting about her autobiography and other matters besides, all in the H&J Daily. Best bits of today's show, if you've missed any, which will be available just after 4. We'll wind things up here, hearing from some of the managers.
Yep.
A little bit of rugby chat coming up shortly. And of course, we're here bringing you the clips of the week with our very good friends at Tool Station.
Clips of the week on talkSPORT with Tool Station. Next stop, Tool Station.
Autumn International's preview on talkSPORT with Funding Circle. Tackle your business goals head on with fast, fair and hassle-free finance solutions. Find out more at fundingcircle.com.
Yes, let's look ahead to the weekend's Autumn International action with Funding Circle. Here's talkSPORT rugby correspondent Alfie Reynolds with all you need to know ahead of England's game with Fiji.
So 1 game down and 1 win for England. The Aussies defeated last weekend and it's Fiji up next tomorrow. It's another bold squad selection from the England head coach Steve Borthwick. Captain Maro Itoje on the bench, 7 changes from last weekend, and Finn Smith selected at fly half.
Obviously, as a fly half, you've got loads of responsibilities, and one of that is almost like a sort of second on-field attack coach. So we'll all sit down after training, discuss what we've seen, what we think the team needs to hear, what we could have done better, what we did well, and then sort of as a group of us will reflect and respond to the team and just make sure that the team's going in the right direction.
England will be expected to win against the Fijians, although, as Ollie Chesham, the England second row, told talkSPORT this week, it's never an easy game.
I was there in that World Cup warm-up game where we lost to them at home, and then we faced each other again in the quarter-final. That was the last time I faced Fiji, and there were 2 highly competitive games. We watched some clips back this morning, with I think about 12 minutes to go in that quarter-final. It was 24 apiece, so we know exactly what the challenges they can bring.
So it's England against Fiji. We'll have updates on talkSPORT. Elsewhere this weekend, Scotland host New Zealand, looking for their first ever win against the All Blacks. Wales play Argentina, and a huge game in Paris, a World Cup quarter-final from 2023 rematch as France hosts South Africa.
Thank you very much, Alfie. I don't know if England Rugby posted a video, Andy, of all the England boys watching Celebrity Traitors last night and their old mate Joe Marler. And there's, again, no spoilers, but it was a key moment, and they all jump up in the air in shock.
I'm not surprised.
Yes.
Everybody.
Anyway, that was our look ahead to this weekend's Autumn International action with Funding Circle.
Autumn International's preview on talkSPORT with Funding Circle. Supporting the supporters with fast, fair and hassle-free business finance solutions. Find out more at fundingcircle.com.
Let's turn to football then, look at some of the games this weekend and hear from the managers ahead of them. Liverpool head to the Etihad on Sunday. Both teams going to the weekend third and second respectively in the table. And the Liverpool boss Arne Slot has said it doesn't get much tougher than City away.
We were actually very consistent, but the thing is we were consistent in losing. So that wasn't the idea about being consistent. Consistent doing the things right, which we have to do, and improving in that way. So yeah, City is of course a game on itself. You could say playing there away from home is probably one of the most difficult challenges you have throughout the season.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll keep you in touch with that one Sunday afternoon with Sam Matterface and the team. Should be a cracking game. Chelsea play Wolves tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. That one's live on talkSPORT. Enzo Maresca responded to Wayne Rooney's criticism of his rotation policy. The Italian has made the most changes to the starting 11 of any Premier League team this season. This is what Maresca had to say in his defence.
We are in a moment, in an era where anyone can say what they want. It's correct. I completely respect. But I also said after Karabakh game that since I joined the club, it's also my view to rotate player. And no one complain in the moment that you don't win game. I can understand that no one disagree. I think that when the rotation is Andrei Santos, Brazil international player, Jorel Lato, Holland international player, Estevao, Brazil international player, it's not about rotation. They are good, they are talent, they are young, and for sure when they are young you have to give them the chance to make some mistake, to be better.
Yeah, where are you standing on this, Andy?
Well, I think it's the problem is rotating the centre halves. Most teams won't do that, even if they're playing a lot of football. And so
it's pretty relentless, isn't it? You're still in the League Cup as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
So that's even more.
No, I understand that, but and he has got two. He's got Colwell and Badashil out, which makes it more difficult. But those two the other night weren't right, and it cost them the game. It cost them a win. But I suppose he thinks, and the club thinks, that second half of the season this will pay off. Otherwise, they would have just blown up. Following the World Club Cup. So we'll see.
I wasn't aware of this story. We're going to play you a clip now from Eddie Howe. Apparently, following the win over Athletic Bilbao the other day, the club made the decision to drop the much-loved Local Hero walkout theme music.
That's surprising.
Mark Knopfler's song, of course, from the brilliant Bill Forsyth film. Now, let's hear what Eddie Howe had to say about it.
I'm not directly involved in those discussions, especially with the schedule that we have. I've been putting all my focus on the team, but I know there has been discussions to the pre-match sort of environment and making sure that it's the best it can be, and we're constantly evaluating that to try and make sure it's the best experience, not just for the supporters but for the players. So I think there was a few tweaks made. Obviously I'm not out there at that moment, so I'm not really the best person to judge whether that's a success or not. I know there's been a few tweaks. Hopefully everyone's enjoying the changes.
You kind of mess with tradition like that at your peril. You can understand. I mean, probably some bright spark at the club has felt it's not kind of stirring enough and rock and roll, but it is in its own way.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be heavy metal guitars. I remember when
seems to work quite well for them. They're pretty difficult to beat.
At Everton, they changed. Didn't they change? Did Mike Walker change Z cars? I think he did. Yeah. Evertonians will tell us. But as soon as Joe Royal came back, I think it was Z cars again. So, sometimes it's a bit difficult messing with tradition, isn't it? Really. So the tune is still being used on match days in the build-up to kick-off, but instead of it being played as the teams come out from the tunnel onto the pitch. But anyway, we'll see. A bit of Arsenal finally, Andy. They take on Sunderland tomorrow evening, and the Arsenal boss, Mikel Arteta, is delighted to see former Arsenal player Granit Xhaka.
I see that if he gets a winner tomorrow.
Yeah, back in the Premier League. This is what he said.
Yeah, I loved every minute that we spent together. When I joined, he was in a special moment, I would say, of his life and his career. And between all of us, we tried to guide him, to give him a different perspective, to make him feel loved, valued, and he responded in an incredible way. So he made me a better coach. He helped us to develop and improve a lot as a football team and as a club, and I will be eternally grateful because I have great memories with him.
He'll get it. I'm looking at our producer who's an Arsenal fan. He'll get a good reception tomorrow, won't he, you think? Yeah, he'll get the thumbs. I can't see why not.
It's at Sunderland, but, the Arsenal fans.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, the Arsenal fans there. He got, I remember there was that infamous game, wasn't it, when he went off and was booed. But I think I don't know. I think
he's a better player now.
He is a better player now, definitely.
He was brilliant the other night.
Yeah,
wonderful.
So there we are. We've got live commentaries tomorrow of Manchester United against Spurs at Spurs, and we'll bring that game in the evening. Chelsea Wolves, and Sunday, Andy, you're off to Brentford.
Yeah, 2 o'clock
for the game against Newcastle.
Yeah, should be quite an entertaining game.
Are you enjoying the sort of new look Brentford, the Keith Andrews Brentford? Are you?
Yeah, I mean, they're good at home. They've had some very good results this season, but they also, they weren't great last week away from home. Where were they? Fulham? No.
Yeah, not
Fulham. Who did they lose? Palace.
Yeah.
Palace, yeah, they weren't great at Palace, but,
Has the football changed a lot in the Frank football from what you've seen?
Really?
No?
It's a lot of long throws. Got about 4 players that can do them.
We'll get used to it.
There's a big emphasis on set plays, but,
Problem Tottenham have got is that Danso is definitely the king of the long throws. Bergvall is the one they turn to, and he's, because of the concussion protocols, he can't play tomorrow. So, and obviously, ideally you want to play Romero and Van der Ven, because they're with respect to Kevin, they're the first choice too. You can't just put someone in the team for the long throws.
Spurs shouldn't be relying on long throws. They don't have creative.
Certainly
players.
hope not. Yeah. Well, we'll find out tomorrow lunchtime. That's our opening game, our game day match. 12:30 kickoff.
Big first goal game there.
Yeah, it does feel like that, doesn't it? I think certainly from home fans, forgetting the mood right. Seeing them pick up where they left off the other day, and from Manchester United have been playing very well, so it should be an entertaining game live on talkSPORT. That is us. We're back on Monday, reflecting on the Premier League weekend. We leave you in the very capable hands of Adi Oladipo, who's in for Andy Goldstein, alongside Darren Bent with Drive. Have a good weekend.